How you doing, guys? Right. So, where are we? Right. Marshall, you're there already. How you doing? So,
I'm fair to middling do this evening.
I'm hearing myself coming back through.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. We okay?
Yeah, I think it seems all right now.
Right. Was that phone switched on?
I'm just about to switch it on. That's
Right,
that's on.
So
Yeah,
phone line won't be open this evening, people. And that's me back to mute, dude.
Sweet. Cheers, mate. So, where are we? Hello, everybody. I'll come to the chat in a wee second. Usual stuff just to run through here and a few other bits and bobs. Where am I here? Hang on a wee second. Bear with me, people. Well, I have just received new evidence that has changed my mind, and I'm going to screen share. Application window. Marshall, can we see this?
Yep, screen share.
Okay, so this is scientifical, logical proofs that we do in fact live on a nature-defying fucking sphere pair, okay? As you can quite clearly see, there is curvature there in the background, and Superman is there too. So, by globe standards, by the cult of globe, this is scientifical proof, right? Not only that we live on a fucking nature-defying sphere pair, but Superman is indeed real. So you Superman deniers out there and globe Earth deniers, get a grip. There it is. That's all you fucking need. End of story. Right, enough of the fucking hilarity. So before I go into it, I heard Dan Pratt going on about this, people pandering to NASA and space agencies and these types of scenarios. Oh, let's send rockets up, let's see if NASA will answer our fucking questions. Fuck them, right? Images do not constitute as scientific proof. Somebody's video over anything does not constitute as scientific proof, okay? Claims and all claims being made in regards to objective reality must be measurable, testable and repeatable, okay? Unfortunately, bendy, curvy oceans and curvature over land or water is non-existent. It is idiotic and part of the globe cult, right? So for anybody new here, we are people who are investigating the reality that we live in. Like most of you, if you're new watching this, me and many other people here were the exact same as you. We believed wholeheartedly, without question, that we lived on the nature-defying sphere pair, flying through the endless vacuum of space. All created by a random chance and big fucking bangs. We decided, through whatever reason, many people have different reasons, to investigate said claim. As children, we didn't have the intellectual capacity to, go and actually investigate these things. We put our trust in authority and, our elders and believed what they said. So we were browbeaten and intellectually bullied into believing that utter nonsense. And as the point is, we do not pander to any fucking space agency. These space agencies have been caught with their pants down a number of times. They are full of fucking shit, okay? So the last thing we're going to do is look to these fuckers for answers to where we live, okay? Now, it does not matter what images and videos that they produce. If natural physics, observations, measurements, tests suggest otherwise, prove these images to be wrong, or the images don't match observed tested reality, your images in your video can go and take a shit, right? They mean nothing, okay? So, for anybody new, we do not believe in any cartoon flat earth models. Flat earth to us here, it doesn't mean a pizza dish or a pancake or anything on a turtle's back. The claim here is that the earth is level, that it is a container of some kind, it is filled with water. Physics will show you that beyond any shadow of a doubt, it has to be a contained unit of some kind. You do not live on the exterior of any shape, right? So, the nonsense that you hear, the straw men, the illogical crap that comes from this globe cult and its disciples does not represent everybody, okay? They generalise and they push nonsense and expect, that people will believe that everybody represents that, and it's not the case. So that's about that for the intro stuff. Anybody who's any questions, you're more than welcome to come on. It is an open platform for anybody. Any topic can be discussed. The only criteria is that if you make claims to things being objectively true, you're going to have to provide proof of that claim, and that's it. Any topic can be discussed, though, whatever it is. The phone number, if you want to phone or text, is 07393 654 544. If you want to come in and have anything to say, you need to send an email to nocurve@gmx.com. So, chat. How are we, people? Derek F. Bomb Buchan, how you doing? Jonah Worms, how are you? Martin Leakey, how do it? Multi Tom Tom, Uppercut, Stoned Harry, Opened My Eyes, Flats a Fact, DJ Black, how you doing? Piedy Pie, Red Machine Kieran, Anders Ace, Alison, how are you? Linny Flat Earth Christina, Chris Muratoa, how you doing? West Coast Wisdom, how are you? Jamie Brown, how do it? George, cheers George, William Careen, Sarah Calder, Tony Rafferty, how are you? Anthony Roberts, how you doing, bud? Darryl Turner, Ben Henderson, Multi Fuzzyhead, Dundee, Boomer, Twitwit, Sheeps and Neeps, Dave Poole, Tiz Edward. Right, Colshy Cats, how you doing, man? Sean MC, Flat Earth Trucker. Nice to see some new names and stuff. Boutstrauss, how you doing, man? Heather Dundas, how are you from Motherwell? Another new one, nice to see you here. Displaced Cosmonaut, how you doing? JLo 1982, Sean G, Glober here with respect for all. Oh, you're a Glober, well, you can't be here. What do you mean you're a Glober? Come on. A few other wee bits and bobs I wanted to talk about. Hang on a wee second here just to see what's going on. So as I've said, these clowns who are wasting your time with rockets and such, it's not going to change anything, and we don't look to that. You are the scientist. You take control of your own mind, take responsibility for you, stop pandering and looking to some exterior authority to now tell you that it's okay to commit to what you know and you understand, or to tell you whatever. That is what got us in this fucking mess in the first place. Right. The other point I want to make, somebody sent me a message or posted on the Facebook in regards to graffiti going up places. Now, for me, we all want to message it, and I, for one, want to message it as quick as I can so that we can get this resolved. And again, regardless of what you believe in, this is for natural science. It's about objective truth, about objective reality. Whatever you believe, this is not going away. There is so many people coming round to this and asking serious questions that need answered. It needs the world to sit up, the academic world, the scientific world, the common man to unite in order to answer this question. Okay, we have to remove sophism, illogical nonsense from this altogether. It's not about personalities, it's not about your wishes or your desires. It's purely about what is objectively true and how we establish that. So anyway, back to this. Charlie Sweeney, posted something on my timeline. Highland and Islands Police Division. Police in Inverness are appealing for information on graffiti which has appeared in various locations around the city. The words "the earth is flat" and similar slogans have been spray painted on the outside walls on a building and signposts on the A9 and A96 in and around Inverness. Police Scotland urges people not to tolerate vandalism or antisocial behaviour, but to report them immediately by calling 101, quoting reference blah 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 in relation to these recent incidents. Yeah. Vandalism and antisocial behaviour would be fucking institutions milking money out of fucking people and providing cartoons, thereby robbing them of their psychological foundation, their right to know exactly where the fuck they are. Right? You talk about cultural vandalism, right? Psychological, spiritual vandalism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Right? It is a fucking disgrace what is going on in this world right now. And the behaviours that go on, the mindsets of people because of this is fucking incredible. There is a lot to be answered for. So me, for one, I don't really give a fuck about a bit of spray paint here and there on irrelevant fucking signs. Right? I don't promote it in any way, shape or form, but I think it's fucking preposterous that we get this pish, it's vandalism, somebody's wrote the earth is flat. It's not racist, it's not political, it's none of these fucking things. At the same time, I don't promote it. Please do not, resort to spray painting on people's walls or signs. It is probably only going to bring us shit, unwanted shit. It's not going to cost you much to make a banner. Spray paint that on your banner and hang it somewhere. Therefore, they can't come back at you with anything. There's not going to be any aggro from that. But with this, they could very well try some aggro. So it's a touchy one at the same time where, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, we'll get this vandalism going on in people's minds, making them believe they live on a fucking testicle. That is totally, ridiculous. An insult to anybody's intelligence. And anybody who's started to look into it, surely to fuck by now, you must realise you do not live on the exterior in any fucking shape. Right? You live in a contained system here. Right? You live in pressure, it's filled with water. So no need to keep repeating that. But I thought I would bring it up because it was the same for me the other day when when I was coming home from Ayr. I think it was the M77. I seen, a sign the same that had been spray painted, research flat earth. And for me, it is great to see, but I don't condone it and I don't promote it. But at the end of the day, people are passionate about this, and there is a huge fucking problem here. And the sooner that the powers that be, the academic world, grow a fucking set, grow a spine, and face up to it, the better. The ridicule and this nonsense that's going on is not going to change it. And if you've got half a brain, you would realise that it's best to just bring it out into the open, get it dealt with, looked at openly, transparently, with honesty, with integrity, without ridicule or any of these things. Right? People are entitled to ask these questions, and if there's a gathering pace of people, that's something that you have to pay attention to. The scientific community, whatever the fuck that is, because you are all scientists, every single one of you. This is about natural science. This is about the natural world that we all share. You do not need a fucking PhD to tell you that you're now capable of assessing the world you live in. Right? Most what I was going to say about that, and that's me not even been smoking anything. I've gave it up, apart from just tobacco. So it's more likely that I'm going to be chirping like a budgie from now on in. I think that was it for things. I talked about a parody channel, a channel for ripping the piss, and lo and behold, one of the renowned insecure derps, known as Osman, I think it's him, has set one up. Now, it's a pathetic attempt. I have to warn them that when I start up my Taking the Piss channel, I'm not going to be superimposing cartoons, funny hair over you. No, I'm going to get right to your core and I'm going to make you cry, right? Because you're narcissistic and you'll not be able to handle it, okay? I don't care about anybody taking the piss. There is nobody that can take the piss out of me, because I know myself. I take the piss out of me. And if I take the piss out of me, you're never going to bother me, right? But these people are so fragile and weak. These globe disciples, these trolls, the lick spittle, those, in love with government, they're not going to be able to handle it. So watch what you're doing. You're going to get burned. If you think you're mimicking and jumping in there first, making a parody channel, let's have a wee competition, see who can rip the pish the best. I think you will lose. So just to, get back over this, we don't pander to any space agencies. Somebody's video and images do not constitute as scientific proof of anything, right? Cherry-picked images, somebody telling you they're seeing curvature, that's not good enough. Things have to be measured, they have to be accurate, they have to be repeated over and over and over and over to make sure that you've got it right, okay? Now, for me, the criteria here is that you must understand the first principles. You have to accept actual reality. When I say water is the most accurate measuring tool, it tells us beyond any shadow of a doubt it must be a container. That is proven over and over by anybody. It's physics, it is natural physics, and it is applied physics. Okay, water does not have the ability in bodies, not a raindrop or a drip. When it collects as a body, it does not have the ability to display shapes upon its surface, regardless of how slight they want to tell you, how big the angle or the curvature is. Look at the fucking globe. Look at the fucking oceans and the big humps in them. That's preposterous. That is the reason why you don't have a real working model of a globe. That is why it's made of plastic, right? Or you see it on a screen, because it's impossible. Now, the excuses of, but I need a planet to show you, it's religious nonsense. If I go to a religious person and you see it, you've seen it with the atheist movement through the years and the so-called scientific community bashing religion. Oh, well, prove your God. I can't. God's evidence is everywhere. Look at creation, look at life, look at, that's not good enough. We can't measure, we can't test it. Well, therefore, it has to be rubbished and it's not science because we are intellectuals, right? The very same people are going to come at you and say, I can't show you large oceans bending around a planet because I don't have a spare planet to show you, right? They're morons, right? It's the exact same. All claims have to be shown practically. So I see the phone lighting up here. I'm going to read some messages. I think there's a few here. And again, if you want to come in and have anything to say, you need to send a message to nocurve@gmx.com, or you can telephone or text message 07393 654 544. And I will come to the chat in a wee minute. Dell's looking old. What was that? Dell's looking older off the weed. Thank you very much. Way to hurt my feelings. My feels have taken damage. Please don't. I'm old. I'm fucking 40 now. Get back on the weed, lad. You even Dell, bro? Question mark. what do you want? I'm sick of it. At the end of the day, it's just time for me. It doesn't do me any favours. I need my attention. I need my focus. I need to be sharp for this and whatever else is coming. Right? So for me, it's about getting fucking serious now. Our lass was watching Emmerdale last night. I wasn't honestly heard it, but a quote was mentioned which reminded me of what Gav said in one of your videos about mathematicians being mathemagicians. The quote, "A mathematician is a blind man in a dark room looking for a black cat that isn't there." Charles Darwin. Yeah, well, that's it. And just to go over that again, mathematics is a language, and it is good, and it can be applied as a formula for describing reality to each other, and we can use it to construct things. But because it's a language like any other language, you can tell porcupines, right? I can tell you that I have got pink unicorns, right? And I can tell you that, I'm a Scottish guy that lives in Paisley. I can use the language to tell the truth, or I can use the language to lie, right? And as, Gav explains and Gav understands, and many other people understand, when these people are starting from false axioms, they're not agreeing on the first premises that we're discussing. They can create mathematical jargon that can be correct, right, on paper, but in order for it to be actual, science, it has to match practical, observed, tested and repeated reality. So, bendy oceans and motions and fucking big bangs, these are all mathematical constructs. They have no place in practical reality whatsoever. And again, obviously, there's people here that have heard this and they know it. This is for anybody new, and I'm hoping that there is new people there. So that's why I repeat it all the time. Hi Dale, don't forget the meeting on the 26th. Meeting on the 26th. Have I missed something here? Just bear with me a wee second, people. Just hang on to see if I've missed something here. Oh, no, I'm not sure if that's you, Rob, or Margaret that has messaged me regarding a meeting on the 26th, but I'm checking my Facebook thing here and I'm not seeing anything. If you could just elaborate, if you don't mind, if you can send me another message just to elaborate on what's actually happening, because I can't see it here on my Facebook thing. That'd be much appreciated. And I think there's a couple of... Well, you did Facebook me. It's not there. It's definitely not there. If you could just... It's Rob. Cheers, Rob. Can you just elaborate on a message here, Rob, and I will read it out, let people know. Marshall, you had mentioned earlier on that there was another meeting that we were going to share.
Yeah, I've been throwing the link out. There's a meeting in Cardiff Bay on the 27th, and if people want to contact Martin Leakey at Flat Earth British, he'll fill you in with the details. And Jamie Brown's just said that he's also got a meet in Preston on the 26th. So that gives people more than one geographical option, mate, for attendance, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds like something's happening up at your end on the 26th.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for Rob to message me back just to confirm. So I will keep my eyes on that phone, Rob, if you want to just let me know and I'll read it out. Obviously, I will be there. All right, so people are meeting in the last post in Paisley again on the 26th of this month at 2 p.m. So for anybody who's interested in going to that, it'd be good to see some of you there. Some new faces, hopefully, as well. Cheers, Rob. We'll reface you, Facebook. Nice one, man. So that's it there. If anybody wants to show up again, it's the 26th of this month. That's the last post in Paisley at 2 p.m. So, right. What's happening? Are we getting any links? Anybody asking for any?
No mailers yet, though. But again, I mean, normally people mail in after about 3/4 of an hour when you've settled into the evening,
If nobody's coming in, I'm going to have to start inviting guests and make this a proper fucking Saturday Night Live and get some internet celebrities on here, just so that we can remain relevant and I can get my face on camera with no gain whatsoever, just for the sake of it. Nice picture, Marshall. I feel as if you're here in the shed with me right now.
Well, I was forced to redecorate after the objections to my wallpaper from last week. I hope it meets Levery's approval.
The black and white circular Masonic stuff that we were supposed to be involved in.
Yes, that I've been. My membership to the lodge has been revoked. I am. They took their wallpaper with them. Yeah. So be happy, people. I'm sure there's some kind of symbolism in there that somebody's going to object to. Mike. But, can we just have a recap on that though? So it's the Paisley meetings on the 26th at the Last Post pub at 2 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Because I'll continue to run that into the chat so people as they come in get to notice. Alongside, if they can't make it that far up, they could pop along to Preston and meet up with Jamie. And the following day, they got the pleasure of Martin's company in Cardiff. So a busy weekend, mate, for the bank holiday.
Well, we want to include everybody. So if anybody's arranging any meetups, by all means, let us know and we'll shout it out. People should be transparent with these types of things, and it's great that people are getting together. And it's happening more and more, and they're popping up everywhere, which is great to see. Right, I'm just going to go to the chat here. Grasshopper 78, gravity is magic on the side windows. Tony Rafferty, no proof of the globe. Oh, apparently there is proof. We have pictures, Tony. I just showed a picture, showed the globe, and it showed Superman in space. I mean, that's scientific, logical proof, she's according to, globe disciples. James Bong, Saturday Night Flat Earth Fever, Glenn Clark, I live on a level Earth. You certainly do, Glenn. Photos, Flat Earth street activism, keep active people spreading Flat Earth on the streets. Yep, keep up. It has its own legs, and it's great to see. People just need to keep at it. Sarah Calder, I'm too shy, but I'd love to speak to you. It's absolutely nothing to be shy about, Sarah, but I understand. Some people just don't want to come on camera or, be on live. I totally get it. It's not for everybody. It's certainly, at one point in my life would never have been for me. But it's just been a kind of progression to this point, and now I just really don't care. The majority of people worry too much about what other people think of them, but when you get to a point in your life where you just do not give a shit about what people think of you, it's easy to partake in stuff like this. You're welcome anytime, and it's great that you're there anyway. I'm sure there's many other people who don't want to come on live or speak or show their face or whatever, and that's absolutely fine. This platform on the Saturday night is just purely to give people that option. Now, I've said it before, people were moaning that they never had a voice. Well, people who are new to this might not understand that, but at the off we had, celebrities, certain, high-ranking flat earthers, whatever the fuck that means, because, it's all under an umbrella, apparently, who were taking up the attention, and they were keeping the attention between each other and, preferred personalities, and people were up in arms about that, and I've seen that, and at the same time, it's manipulation on my part as well, because why should we sit back and let agency involvement or anybody else, garner attention and keep people's attention on useless fucking nonsense, right? While we just sit back and wait for somebody else to sort it out. I'm not that type of person, so I took it on my own shoulders to create a platform so that there's another option there for people, where it's not just celebrities sitting pandering to each other and keeping each other relevant in order for view counts and whatever else, or money, donations, right? It's an opportunity for people to gather something that's real. I'm not involved in this for personal gain. I don't gain anything out of it. I've been out of pocket since day one with this. Nothing has changed in my private life. I'm the exact same person, right? This here is for you people out there, and that's it. I'm just the janitor, right? Oh, shit. Jonathan Doherty, I'm just not a camera person. Same here, Jonathan. My whole life I was like that until I get involved in this. But because, I felt passionately and strongly enough about this and knew how important it was, and the fact that it's a subject that's not about my personality or anybody else's personality, it was much easier. The focus of attention should never be on the personality. Nobody has the keys to objective truth. Nobody knows how to be a perfect human, whatever the fuck that means, or a perfect mind, So these people out there who continue to focus on the persons and, bitch sniping about, persons and how they don't agree, that behaviour or this behaviour, it's irrelevant. The whole point of this is about what the objective truth is, the world that we share. It's not personal. So for me, it was easier to get involved in this because of that. If it was anything else, this so-called truth movement and all the other conspiracies, the majority of these people are involved in it purely for attention and to make money. Because, the reason being is because all these other conspiracies, they're not within these people's direct experience. They're taking hearsay and they call themselves fucking researchers. Oh, I'm a researcher. Great researcher. Great researcher. Research is great as long as the things you're researching are actual practical things, and you can actually practically see and test them and know them, right? But these fucking muppets out there who claim they're researchers but just repeat and hearsay and, fanciful fucking stories, they're only in it for the money. And, quite a lot of them, for me, it's part of this whole fucking agenda, is to keep your attention, keep you going in circles, fill your imagination, fill, that gap that the explorer is looking for, that the real explorer is looking for real answers, right? They'll just throw this shite at you in order to take your attention on it, and that's it. That doesn't happen here. right? So a direct realism here. All other conspiracies can go and take a fuck to themselves as far as I'm concerned. This one here is in everybody's direct experience. That makes it different, right? You don't have to listen to a researcher spouting at you for 3 hours on a video, right? And just because your imagination is titillated and you can perceive something in your imagination doesn't mean it's true. But that's what they're up to. They throw these things at you to target that. Oh, we have Nisper or Inspire. Dell is ignoring my calls. This, again, is part of these people's types of personality. They have an overinflated sense of entitlement, right? This chap, Nisper or Inspire, has had attention, okay? I'm not ignoring your calls. Stop trying to say, it's personal, right? You're a nobody. You're a faceless fucking potato, right? There's no hierarchy here. You're the same as every fucking body else, right? You're no fucking special. I know that in your wee narcissistic deluded mind you think you're special. You're fucking no. And you're going to get chopped down here, right? Text message me and I'll read out your nonsense. Jonathan Doughty, people do want to see a nice camera-ready person. Even I do. Well, that's up to other people. You know, they can go and look for that. But for me, I'm not interested in that. That's the globe-type thinking where we have to pander to this. You know, we have to behave in this way and that way, and we have to present and look a certain way. And wait. You know, for me, I just want to get real. These clowns that I see in the fucking TV, they're not really represent who they actually are, right? They're people who are taught on how to deliver, right? NLP. They know how to deliver. They use the right eye movements, the body language, the tones. Maggie M, the attacks on women on camera are more vicious. I don't know about that. I don't know what I've actually witnessed in regards to that. I can imagine there's some vile stuff will come everybody's way. There certainly has been my way. But I mean, and I think it's a threat. You know, I've said that before. If more women get involved in this and more women are outspoken, women are nurturers, you know. Women can have a real sway. So if you're a woman out there and you're listening and you have a voice and you have something to offer, just get off your ass and don't be scared, right? There's many people here who are going to have your back, but are not going to put up with any illogical nonsense that is aimed at your emotions. And again, you know, you shouldn't really let it affect your emotions. People who are trying to target your emotions, if you're experiencing things that are affecting your emotions, think to yourself, that's what it's trying to target. This is about an objective question, about objective reality. It should never be aimed at your personal emotions, right? But they will try.
I've got a link out to Sarah, who's going to try and dial in on the Hangout using an iPhone for the first time. So a little technical hiccup here and there, but Sarah, the link's there. Just click it when you receive the mail, and you should be presented with the join the Hangout. So there you go.
Vigo Stockholm, how you doing? Chelsea Deluxe. Buzz W71 Wise Words Delphi Govan. Nice to hear from you, man. Somebody local again. William Carino, Lenny Flyer, Christina, you're going to get on one day, I know. Well, hopefully. Oh, didn't take long to inspire West Coast wisdom. I must have missed something. Martin Leakey, I'm not preferred common as much. Not sure what that means, Martin. Magumba, you're there. Jonah Worms, obviously. Sorry if I forgot about you insignificant chat dwellers. Magumba, yeah, Inspire, it's all about you, you're FUD, yeah, that's it. You know, these people, you know, here, we've had people here who've been here for years now, that have had ample time to analyse the bollocks that have been put to us, and people that inspire offer nothing. They come with an attitude like we cracked out of an egg, and we are retarded, trying to assess the world we live in, and we need saviours like Inspire to come and put us all right, when he does nothing but repeat the same old tired bollocks that we have heard a million times. Just bear with me, people, just here. Eat this wee smoke. Ich habe lang seit viel geholt, will ich die Biene wait. I'm not that good. I've lost touch with my German speaking. You're going to have to put that in English. Less Gabs about to translate. Consinity UK, how are you? Glenn Clark, did you notice the eclipse sun is moving the wrong direction in rotation of the Earth from west to east? That's wrong on a globe Earth. I've not had a chance to do much digging on it. I see other people are getting involved in it. But again, for me, it's part of, you know, people can get involved whatever they like. This is where I am and this is what I'm going to say. You know, you do not get anything measurable. Remember the question. The question is what shapes the Earth. You know, that's where you stand, terra firma. These things, these objects, whatever they are in the sky, nobody knows exactly what they are. So for me, they're irrelevant. The only good point is when they contradict the claims that are made by the heliocentrists. So for that reason, it's great. And people who are working on it, fantastic. Take my hat off to you. But for me, I just don't have any fucking patience or time for it. That's not my path. It's not my journey. there's many people out there with things to offer. And again, I just want to reiterate this. If there's any people out there who, people are very quick. I see this attitude in people that if people have a disagreement or a fallout or they disagree in one part, that they start rubbishing each other and they separate off into a camp and they attack that camp or that person, and it's no good. For me, there's loads of people out there who have something to offer. I've had my issues with certain characters through this whole process, but at the same time, I still look at these characters, or I still go and see what they have to say, and they have relevant things to say and offer. There's many people out there that have get real nuggets of wisdom and things that they can share and offer. But we're caught up in this mentality that as soon as we identify something that we disagree with, we rubbish the whole thing, and you really shouldn't do that. There is characters out there, and people who have got something to offer. I mean, everybody knows what happened here in regards to Mr. Powerland, and misrepresenting me and trying to label me in some camp, which I take offence to, and I'm going to call it out every chance I get. But that guy has still got stuff to offer. He has his issues, his things that I don't agree with, but he still has something to offer. And the same is there for many other people, right? But we get caught up in this quagmire of division and separation and disagreement and, firing bullets at each other. You need to fucking cut it out, and I'm not just bringing his name into it. There's many other characters that have been involved in this, I mean, even Timmy would have something relevant to say and something to, add to this. But he's people like him are just so deluded and brainwashed and hopelessly helpless to their belief structure, that they just don't do the stuff that they have good that they've got to offer. They don't do that any justice by the other shit that they throw at it, And it's continual. They don't learn and they don't move on for it. Stephen Atomic Dale, if you go back to the BBC, shout it out. You will have most of us on here with you if you want it. Well, that's been on my mind. I've got a few plans for some activism this week, and the BBC are one of these places may very well be. And as I've said before, when I spoke to the security at the BBC, he was telling me about, because I asked him, is there an issue with me being here with the alien and can I making a scene? And he says, no. He says, we have many people here who stand outside protesting or whatever. But the thing about that is, like, the mainstream media, for me, the point of going to the mainstream media is not to say, look, give me answers. No, the point is to show up and pressurise them and to show them, look, people are not going away. People know what is going on, and we're going to keep documenting your ignorance. Like the people at the BBC, they have an option. They can become heroes. They can become the people's people, and they can come on our side and start representing us. Or we can show up there and we can keep videoing their blatant denial and ignorance and identify them as people who are not interested in the common man or supporting anything truthful. So people get misunderstand when I'm going to like the mainstream media. It's not because I'm going, oh, please give me answers, mainstream media, please help me. No, it's tactical, as I've just explained. And if we document it, then it can show, So cheers for that. When I'm going up there, I'll be sure to announce it, and I hope that many do show up, because if there was a wee presence there, then that would be great, and we can document that and get it logged, Ted Marks, how are you? I am, because we are one love. Is it just me, or does anyone else stream stopping all the time? No, it's not just yourself. That's happening to many people. People who actually do get access to the live, they're reporting to me that it just keeps buffering. Yet, if they go and they click any other video, it plays no problem. So, you're not alone. Flat Earth Court, how are you? Getting old, innit, Dale Martin? It certainly is. Dan Tibbets, do your bit. London Meet 27th. 139 Leman Street, Leman Street, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Is that right? Brown Bear Pub in East London. Magumba, Ideal, Stop the Hangout, Inspire, has it all worked out? Yep, I'm sure he has. There's always a faceless potato, a guru that's out there ready to save humanity from destroying itself or being stupid. Guys like Inspire, they are, the perfect example of a wannabe guru. Uppercut, Globetards, try to remember we know what you know. Remember also, you don't know what we know, so ask questions, don't patronise. Unity, not division, by the likes of this troll Inspire. Grow up, boy. Yeah, well said, Uppercut. James Bond, shut up, somebody give him a spliff. Told you I was going to budge you. Other people better come in here, or I'm just not going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to end up going and reading comments from other videos shortly if we don't get anybody coming in. I
think Sarah's got the link, and she was waiting for an opportunity to be introduced. But I said, like, when just click click when you're ready, and we'll make allowance for it. So, Sarah, if you're ready to come in, just do it now.
Just click in, and we'll roll out the red carpet for you and get the party poppers gone. Rob, we set up a new Facebook page, Forts, Forts, Flat Earth Observable, Repeatable, Testable, Scotland. So anybody that's on Facebook that wishes to join that, by all means.
I'll respond to Sarah here. She says, "I have. If you've got the mail, then it should be a link that you then activate, and it will bring you to the Hangout. So that's probably the second part that you're missing out. You need to click the link."
Well, going back to, some of the activism in like the mainstream media, I'm going to start going to some of these, MP offices that are on the high streets. I'm going to speak to the people there. Just as I've said, again here, these people have got the option now to, be heroes, be on the side of the people. It's up to us to take it to them. We can't sit here on YouTube expecting that somebody like me or whoever is going to go and do it for us. You have to get out there and make a noise, right? And let these people know that we ain't going anywhere. But for me, it's that far gone now that they will know in many aspects in all walks of life, know about this question, and they're hearing about it. So the rumblings are there. The activism grew legs of its own, and it got, it was spreading out. So it's just a matter, as I say, keeping going and pressing these people and let them feel that pressure. But we do need numbers. We need people to continue it. It has to be kept up. You can't just do it once and think, well, that's it, I've done it. You need to keep at it.
Dude, can you check a message on your phone, man?
Which message?
Should be one from Dan.
Nope, nothing here. Have you just sent it, Dan?
Rob, sorry.
Rob, I read it. That was the confirming the last post meet, and they set up a Facebook page called Forts, Forts, Flat Earth Observable, Repeatable, Testable, Scotland. That's what it stands for.
Right, okay, cool. That's probably the lag on chat then, dude. It was probably sent before you said it. Yeah, okay, cool.
YGG Drassel, my game. It was nice to see Flat Earth out in the real world. Good to know it's not just on the interweb. Yep. And that's thanks to the many people out there who are getting active and taking it out to the people and taking it to the street. We have to keep it going. Evening Dale, I think we need to organise a group of us to be outside BBC. I, for one, am totally game. If you're thinking of going down, I'd love to come down and have a chat and a smoke with you. Well, I don't do that anymore, but we can have a roll-up. Things need to be taken up a notch. We have to make it difficult for them to ignore. How do we do that? Fuck knows. Keep it up, Dale. Mark Robertson. Well, that's it, Mark. But for me, it's like a bit of a game. I think they're going to unveil this with some other nonsense attached to it at some point. But the thing for me is to make enough noise and get enough people on board that, they're not going to get away with any other bollocks. It's real truth now. No fucking about. And if we establish that we are here and this is where we're meant to be and we're stuck here and there's nothing else, then we need to have a no-nonsense approach to everything involved with, society and its structures. Things should be based purely on what humans actually need. Things need to be prioritised. Anything and anybody who's in a position of representing people, there has to be measures taken, things put in place to make sure that there's no bollocks like this can ever happen again. And the big part of that is re-educating people and educating them properly so that people are critical thinkers and that this will never have the opportunity to rear its ugly fucking face ever again, right? Because right now we have dipshits, fucking insecure morons that are controlling everything, right? And making people's lives a fucking misery. But at the same time, the people need to take responsibility for that. Again, it comes back to no waiting on some exterior power to fix it for you. People need to be united under a common goal to get things changed. As I keep saying before, I've said it many times, people talk about secret societies and the Illuminati. At the end of the day, you have to look at it and you go, well, see, at the end of the day, these people get stuff done. They don't fucking sit divided, attacking each other's personality. No, because they're probably realists. They probably know that nobody's fucking perfect and that's not really important. It's just the fucking derps in the middle that think it's important that stature and looks and how you speak and how you dress somehow means something, right? And they're all too busy controlling each other. We need to let that go. Stop trying to control anybody, right? We just have to understand what it is we need, what's important to us, and unite under that common goal. The same as secret societies or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They get shit done. They have unity. They have focus. They have intent, right? Look at the fucking shit we're in. That wasn't achieved by them all sitting about bitching about each other, on the phone and me. No, they had a plan and they stuck to their fucking plan and they never wavered from it. So you need to rise up, play a fucking smarter game. So cheers, Mark. As I say, I will put it out there if we're going to show up at somewhere like the BBC. And if you're out there and nobody's coming in to speak, you're going to get me budging for however long I can be bothered listening to myself, which is not going to be very long, and then I'm going to shut this down. As I say, I'm not in this for the sake of it. I don't want to be here just to be, a fucking personality. It's not my game. My game is to get this out in the open, get it dealt with, get answers for me personally, and once that's done, this is over, right? Unless it's for partying reasons, which would be great. It would be great to forget about all this fucking crap. We have the answers. We are grounded now. We're now free, and we can start to explore things. We can explore each other. We can, move on, advance. But as I say, for me personally, my opinion, if you like, or what I've gathered, when I look at the whole control structure, the physical restraints and the psychological control mechanisms that are put out there, for me that all points to one thing, that there is something hugely significant that they don't want us discovering. Whether that be more land or whatever people want to put out there, or a way out or whatever, or whether these fuckers just don't want us to leave, I don't care. This has been pushed, this lie is deliberate, and there's huge significance in it for me, and there is for everybody else. I mean, why would there not be huge significance in it? It's everything. The three major questions that people ask themselves in life, who are we, why are we here, or where are we, they can be answered, and once we have them answered, we're free. We are free. We know the game, you now understand the rules, you know where you are. You're not playing tennis on a fucking football field, because that's what's happening right now. People are stabbing in the dark, throwing ideologies at each other, throwing cultural fucking programs at each other, ways of life at each other, distractions, substitutes, things that don't add up, that don't make any sense. I'm seeing a comment coming in from this Leanne Flood account, which is probably just another fucking derpy troll. Gravity. That's what this account wrote on one of my videos, which is the Science 101 in regards to how pressurised systems work and how liquid behaves. Now, again, it's the magical word gravity. There is no practical relevance to that whatsoever. Right? Gravity. Gravity of the gaps. Can I explain something? Don't have any practical examples. Can I show it in any way whatsoever? I'm just going to invoke my mantra, gravity. Same as before, when you speak to religious people or anybody who's making fanciful claims about spirituality or unforeseen things, they will come out with mantras and buzzwords and trigger words to throw you off or to escape questioning. That is exactly what the globe does. What shape's the Earth? Oh, it's a globe. No, it's not. There's no measurable curvature and it's covered in water. Gravity. Do you have any practical examples of that? Can you practically prove your claims that you're making? No, just gravity and I need a planet. They're fucking morons. They're so hopeless. So, Des Sherwood, how you doing? I just seen that there before it jumped. John Doe, Orphan Red, doing so well. How? View and like numbers that mean absolutely nothing because they're not verifiable. Now, you don't pay attention and it means nothing. View counts and popularity on fucking Tinterweb means nothing. You can't take any of these figures, as true, because we all know and we've witnessed it many, many times, things are being messed with. Thumbs, likes, view counts, and I must have missed a part of a conversation there. Orphan Red photoshops. Flat Earth activism is absurd and counterproductive. Only sheep respond to propaganda like banners and the news pieces that result saying flat earthers are stupid, discourage research by clever people. Well, unfortunately, Orphan Red, not everybody out there is as intellectually savvy as you think here, right? And advertising and subliminals are being used every fucking day in abundance in order to sell people shit that they don't fucking need and to suggest things to them. So it's no absurd, and it has moved things onwards. This time last year, it was nowhere near this. It was nowhere near as widespread. So I think that you should take yourself off of your fucking intellectual high horse, right, and get fucking real. You need to employ the tools that's being used on people. These tools are being used to keep people in ignorance. They're being used because people were in ignorance. So how are we going to overcome that? Oh, we're going to sit on fucking YouTube, listen to intellectual Orphan Red that goes absolutely fucking nowhere and only intellectual people are listening to it. That's no good. Absolutely fucking nonsense that you just put there, right? And that pisses me right off. You think you've just shown your fucking true colours. You've either made a mistake or you've got an agenda, right? Going to universities and speaking to students politely and mannered using a Socratic method is not preposterous are counterintuitive. And somebody putting a banner up there, and if they keep seeing these banners, it's enough to trigger so-called intellectuals like me and you who believed we lived on a fucking globe to say, do you know what? I keep repeatedly seeing this. And if I keep repeatedly seeing it, maybe I should have a wee look at it. Ask the majority of people who are in this how they got here. And it's probably because subconsciously they kept seeing it in their feeds. Flat Earth, research flat Earth video. Subconsciously it's getting in there to the point they went, do you know what? I'm going to fucking look at this because it keeps coming at me. So don't talk shit. Photos, flat earth street activism, keep active people spreading the flat earth on the streets, exactly. Just keep at it. Don't listen to doubters and detractors like that, right? Because if it was up to people like that, this would still be contained exactly where they fucking wanted it, right? They couldn't have foreseen rogues who were going to go, fuck you, I'm taking it out into the streets and I'm taking it to universities and people, right? Because people like me knew that's what had to be done. No sitting containing it on fucking YouTube, hoping for the best. Are you butthurt because you're not getting attention? Everybody go and check out off Red. She wants attention. Go and see what she's got to offer. I'm sure she has some, stuff that's viable, that's worthwhile listening to. There, even though I disagree with you and I'm pissed off with the comment you just made, I'll still say to people you've got something to say, right? So go and get your attention. What's going on? Is Inspire still there talking shite? Again, people just watch for this, see this, trying to play this down. Like, oh no, don't make a noise, don't make it, it's going to make it look bad, it's going to make it look bad. You're not going to be able to control that, right? The most important thing is that people hear it and get involved in it, right? And if they are stupid enough to still believe in straw men and all the other nonsense that's out there, then that's their problem. If they're as intellectually savvy as you seem to think, then they will work through that, right? And uppercut, I understand your frustration, but, just like everybody else, there's no need to insult anybody, If I disagree and I'm pissed off with it, I'm going to express that, but it doesn't mean to say we should start ridiculing and jumping on the bandwagon and slating these people. Right? I don't want to get involved in that. Just be smart enough, rise above it and see their antics, call them on their bullshit and why it's flawed and what they're actually saying. But I get it. I get why people are pissed off when they see things like this, and that's the attack.
I've got a request link here from Gav Fly, though, and Sarah's still struggling trying to get her text sorted out. So
who? Gav
Fly.
Is this somebody that we don't know?
It's somebody that we don't know, on a Hotmail. So
it's somebody that's not active in the chat.
I haven't seen it.
Well, this is where I have that dilemma now because of the sniping antics that go on. And whether or not we should hand out these links to these people. If they don't partake in any chat or any contact whatsoever, there's a good chance that they're a troll who was probably going to snipe. So the call's yours, Marshall. But people, if this person comes in and they shut the hangout down, I'm sure many are already aware of this. If they shut it down, they will have four or 5 minutes to ramble or say whatever they like. I suggest you turn the volume down. Don't listen to them, and then I will fire back up again 10 minutes later. Philip Pelsberg, Dale, got any street interviews planned for the coming days, or can I do a big request right now and ask you to please do at least one in the coming days? They are so enjoyable and informative. Yep, as I said, Philip, I've got a plan this week. Unfortunately, here the weather has been absolutely atrocious as per usual. My bike has been covered for the last fucking 3 weeks. It's so annoying, but it's saying they're predicting that it's going to be a kind of dry week, so I've got some plans afoot. So there will be stuff there. Russell Jimmy's, that's why I'm here. Repeat exposure. Seventh trumpet, we are to be shepherds, bringing the lost. Everything else is selfishness. Yep. Lisa, how you doing? Dale, they're all Satanists, and it's no joke. That's why they are successful. See, it's real and tangible. Opened my eyes. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends what your definition of Satanism actually means. These again are buzzwords that are branded and thrown out there, and I for one have to ask questions on what each person means. It's the same as like flat Earth. I have the right to declare what flat Earth means to me. Nobody has the right to take flat Earth and then label me with what they think I represent. These are fallacies and they're generalisations that we shouldn't be partaking in. So we need to understand what it is we're actually talking about. So if you can elaborate on what you actually mean, then I've got something further to add. But until then, for me, it's just a buzzword.
The link's gone out to Gav Fly, so either use it, Gav, or you'll be ejected when you arrive. So because I'm not 100% convinced. And Lawrence has said he's got some interesting stuff to discuss, though. So I'll link him in once we know what's happening with the other guests.
Excellent. Hi Dale, doing my own activism in my area of Norfolk. 500 business cards with research flat earth on it. If one card wakes someone up, it's worth it. Also, living by the sea gives me great opportunity to chalk research flat earth in big letters. Keep up the awesome work, Stuart Lundy, Chroma. Also engaging in flat earth chat with the tourists on the beach and recording on my phone. Fantastic, Stuart. That's great to hear. Don't listen to these muppets telling you shouldn't be doing that. And that's fantastic. If you have an actual observation like the ocean there, you can really make a point. And chalk, I mean, by all means, chalk's a fantastic way of getting your message across. It's not permanent. Nobody can complain about it because as soon as it rains, it's going to go. So I would encourage that, rather than these people spray painting things. If you've got the time and the energy to be repetitive, chalk it. Who's going to have an issue with that? And just be careful about where you're doing it and what attention it may bring. There's, like listening to Orphan talking their rubbish there. There's so many other people and so many other aspects that bring, unwanted attention on this subject, right? Getting active certainly isn't one of them, but you have to have a method that is useful in order to approach it right and get the message across properly. Even if you're writing, you need to try and kind of neaten it up a wee bit. Well, no, even that. I don't really give a fuck about any of that stuff. But no, that's great to hear. But cheers for that, Stuart. So we are awaiting somebody. Rock Vibrations, how you doing? Aye, you're right, Del. I'm not sure what that was in regards to because I'm just going to go right to the bottom here. Scouse Anarchist, Maggie, will you ask them to unban me, please? Beware of from Red is controlled opposition. She does no street activism or encourages it, so beware. Yeah, well, people have their own agendas, and again, it's in their walk. They can say whatever they like, but their actions tell me everything. Right? Their message, if you're clever enough to look at it, will tell you everything about them. There's many people here that just want to garner attention for themselves, for their own selfish needs. That's not for the progress and the benefit of all. Right? They certainly don't want any real truth. They certainly don't really want to establish and know exactly where they are. Right? They just want to keep the views and the fucking PayPals coming in. That's their incentive.
Sarah's having technical trouble with the Hangouts and iPhone, and I can't be a great deal of help there. I don't run an iPhone, but she said she'll call in a minute and on the phone and try and resolve everything for next week. Gav Fly, you've got the link. Use it or lose it, dude, because Lawrence is now waiting.
Yeah. And Sarah, if you do call, if somebody appears in here, obviously my attention is going to be on whoever it is that is appearing in. So I may miss the call if you want to just phone it back again. But right now, if you're going to call, it's totally open. I've got a new cam, Dale, so give me a shout if you need a hand. Bro, peace, Colin. Nice one, Colshay. Cheers. William Kareem, chalk. Also chalk plus clear coat. It's less risky looking. Clear coat and water. Spray bottle. Mary at sea level idea. Excellent idea. Dave Hinkle, does it matter how they are introduced? If they sincerely research it, they will see the points about objective reality. Well, that's it. Skyfly Bribe, beyond the magic curve. I have made 6 scaled models of the moon. I've got to make one more and get the photo of the full moon tonight. Then I can make my video. Excellent, man. I look forward to that. The Truth Spy, take to lawyers straight out of university and try to get them on your side. Well, that's it. And it's a matter of speaking to these people, and that's certainly how I'll be putting it to them. Look, you've got the option here to be on the people's side. You've got the option of being a hero here and stepping up to the mark and showing your true colours. Regardless of what any of these people want to believe being true, they have to have the intellectual honesty to realise that this is being asked on a major scale and that it's not going away. So it would be in their best interests to become part of it. Bling bling, the BS of the ISS. I have a spine disease and can't get out and do street activism. Does that make me controlled opposition? It certainly does not. And that is not what is being said. I don't know if somebody suggested that. But it's, you have to put things in context. It's in regards to the comment being made that it's counterproductive and it's preposterous and nonsense to be doing street activism. That was the point that was made. The claim is not that everybody has to be doing street activism. That's totally ridiculous, and I have never made claim to that either. Not everybody's capable of doing it like yourself, but being an activist is not just about getting out in the street and speaking to people or putting a banner up or a poster. Being an activist is speaking to people bringing it up in conversation, having it in the forefront, always bringing it into a conversation. It's good enough. That is being an activist. So Orphan Red, Sandman, I've seen flat earthers say that the flat horizon proves flat earth. That's just plain silly. Well, there's many people making many claims at Orphan Red, you know. In regards to the horizon, it can, you know, goes against what they're claiming. If you live on a sphere, as you rise, it should be dropping 360 degrees round about you, you know. There's many aspects and many confused people, and you, for one, should be understanding and compassionate about that, right? Not everybody has all the right answers, and they're still trying to work things out, so you need to have a bit of understanding for that. So are you now trying to show your colours, Orphan? Are you going to come out soon and say, oh, I think it's a sphere, Peter? Won't surprise me. Oz Cam beyond the imaginary curve meth boy band has made 5 videos in a row and made mention of Google removing his likes and views when that's total bullshit. Well, I don't really pay any attention to any of that, but it does happen. So where's the line drawn and who it is happening to and who it's not happening to? I don't know. I've not really been paying attention, as I say. So Sarah Calderdale, let me know when you can talk, as I just tried, but it rung off. Sorry about that. Right, I'm paying attention right now. If you want to call back.
While you're waiting for the call, though, Oz goes on to clarify that apparently deleting your cookie history from the browser gets rid of the problem of your likes being redacted, if you like.
Right.
But be careful, people, because some of those cookies you might need to access sites that you visit. So,
hello.
Hello, Dal. How you getting on?
Yeah, I'm good. I take it this is Sarah.
It is, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not very technical. I must be doing something wrong on the Hangout. So.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't help with that. It's some of the technicalities.
No, you guys. So it's probably just, I think when you're trying to get to know how to sort of come in on the Hangout, I must be doing something wrong. So.
Yeah. So how are you?
But, so go on, would you say?
No, I'm just saying, how are you?
Yeah, really nervous having a phone call with somebody, but try to talk a bit slower, not talking off here.
That's all right.
But, right. Anyway, so I'm from all the way up north, up near John O'Groats. So if there's anybody out there who wants to, sort of meet up near the far north of Scotland, even though I've got an English accent, it'd be really, really cool to meet up with some folks so it's not so lonely. I think that's what a lot of people find. I think you all feel really, really cut off.
Yeah.
Especially when you live in a very, very small, village where I am.
Yeah.
But what I really, really wanted to say was a massive, massive thank you for giving me confidence just to actually talk about the issue, because it affects every single one of us.
Yeah.
Even though there's people out there who will say, oh, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't really bother me if the world is round, flat, square. But at the end of the day, it really does affect everybody, whereas those people don't want to admit up to it.
Yeah.
And anyway, I had a couple of friends over just a couple of weeks ago, and I thought to myself, I'll try to, bring the subject up, really, really casually. I did, and I think that was like a first step. It's just bringing it up in a conversation, not trying to shove it down people's throats and making them believe something. It's just questioning their train of thought. And it was at hairdressing day. I think, taking that first step of actually talking about it to people,
Yeah.
I think that's
so it's hugely important, and that's part of the activism. It's just having the conversations with people, and I can imagine it can be lonely, being in the thick of it. You get contacted by many people, and I forget to appreciate that there's many people like yourself out there who are maybe in isolated places that don't have access to many people, and it can play a part on it. But I know that there's people up the north of Scotland who are no far away from you, so I'm sure would be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sure that hopefully they'll be listening right now, and maybe they'll reach out to you. But I'll keep calling that out. If there's somewhere kind of nearby.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Caithness and Sutherland, which is basically the area, I suppose. As I say, I'm 10 miles from John O'Groats, and you have a lot of bikers that travel all the way from Land's End to John O'Groats. So I mean, it'd be amazing if anyone's coming up that way.
Give you a shout. And do you have a channel, or do you just have an account?
No, I just got an account, and I'm really completely honest. I was a complete and utter, like Meryl and yourself, I had been obsessed with aliens, UFOs, anything from cosmos, that was up my street for years and years. I obsessed over it. I followed David Wilcock, and I thought everything he said was the truth. I mean, I spoke to my husband about it for years and years, rolled his eyes at me, and God, here she goes again. And I had this massive belief system based on, as you say, reading a book, watching something on TV.
Yeah.
And then my lovely brother decided one day that we'd just say, oh yeah, he has that flat earth. And I was like, oh yeah, you should look into it, look into flat earth. And and the dinosaurs aren't real. And that was October last year. And I will admit again that I was holding out until about 3 weeks ago that possibly David Wilcock hadn't even come across, and maybe that would still fit into the whole, maybe it was still flat, maybe there is still that alien things around. And then he came out and was like, oh no, it's a whole lot of shit, don't listen to that, it's psyop, etc. And that was it.
Yeah.
I said, no more, just like you say, no more belief system.
That's it.
No more just taking what you hear on what somebody else's word for it is, no more. So I've dropped every single belief system.
Good for you.
Starting afresh.
Excellent, good on you. But these characters, that's exactly it. They can sap up your attention because, as I say, for me, there's many humans who are, seeking spiritual answers. They want truths. They're trying to make sense of reality. And you have these characters here. They are ready and willing to offer you any kind of packaged, fantastical story in order to sap your attention and make you feel as if you have an outlet or you're getting some sort of answers. And again, and it's a credit to yourself. If you've seen through that, you remove your belief structures, your want to believe in these things. You know
yourself how hard it took a huge knock on my ego to batter it. You know yourself that to actually admit up to being wrong.
Yeah, it's a huge sign of your strength of character and your determination and your intellectual honesty to push through that. Because
I don't think my husband would agree with that.
Well, you've done it and you've achieved it. You've lived through it. So
it is. I know you don't like too much consequence, but you sometimes gonna have to take this one down. If it wasn't for you, I genuinely don't think a lot of people would have the courage to actually go up and bring the conversation up, because you've got this way about talking, and it's not just a confidence thing. You're just sitting, you're coming up to people, you just question. You're not shoving it down people's throat. It's a way of questioning it.
Yeah.
And you walk away and say, I'm not telling you to believe me. Just look at it yourself. It's really, really simple. And you don't know it, but you have changed a lot of people's lives. You've changed mine, and that's for sure. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to Meryl because it's amazing. And I'll subscribe to the channel with you. It's absolutely brilliant.
Excellent.
But I'll leave you to the rest of the evening. And again, hi to Marshall and the rest of you who's helping out.
Excellent. Thanks very much for calling, Sarah. And again, I'll keep shouting that. And if anybody's up that way, hopefully they'll reach out to you. You've got an account there, so I think there'll be an option for people to message you.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Just give a shout and quite an open, down to earth person, so to say.
Excellent.
All right,
thanks very much. Take it easy. So again, it's great to hear that, and there's many people there, and for me that's part of it, keeping people's attention with these fantastical fucking stories and these clowns who will sit there, telling you that they're getting in touch with the fourth and fifth dimension, and they're psychically intuitive and fucking they have answers that they will reveal to you at a later date and blah 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 blah. These clowns will claim all these things and sit there with a serious face, and then they've got the cheek to come on camera and say, oh, no curvature and the earth not being a globe is a psyop. Wait a minute, you're in touch with the fourth and fifth dimension and aliens and that fucking stuff, but level water and no curvature is a psyop. I'm getting another call here. Oh, missed it. Am I still here? I've not been sniped, have I?
No, we're all cool, dude. If that caller would like to call back, otherwise I'm going to throw Lawrence the links. He's been waiting a while now.
Aye, just send a link to Lawrence because the previous one that was sent has not been used. And again, if it is used while Lawrence is here or any other guest comes in and it is used for sniping, just turn the volume down and I'll fire back up 10 minutes later. Don't give them any attention.
Lawrence, your link's been sent, and I've got another request here from Hungover from Thursday. In fact, he's come back from Thursday. Wanted a chance to talk to both you and Gav. Gav's not here this evening, but I'm sure we can accommodate you, Dodsel, in just a little while after Lawrence. So cool. When you're ready, Lawrence.
As I say, there's absolutely no need for anybody to be sniping the Hangout. It's an open platform.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Can hear you, man. Yep.
I've got your show on. Let me turn the show off because it's reverberating. Yeah, hi, Del. Yeah, I haven't spoke to you for a while. Let's get a bit of... the whole point of this flat Earth is that we know it's flat. But what we want to know is where are we and is there a way out?
Yeah.
So let's take it back to the beginning. So I'll ask you a few questions. When you go to school, there's two choices of how everything is. It's either the Big Bang or it's creation. So what would you say about the Big Bang? The chances of a Big Bang being correct?
Me?
Are you still in it?
Sorry, Lawrence, I've got somebody else that's arrived in. Michael,
Hey, how's it going, dude?
how's it going?
I just said I'd give an old chat in there just to say I appreciate what you're doing out there, dude.
Cheers, man.
It's no bother. I'm kind of fucking just nervous on fucking camera or on the thing here. I never really go on these things.
That's all right. Sorry, it's difficult to deal with too. Lawrence,
Sorry?
sorry, it's just difficult. Lawrence has just arrived in, so I wasn't expecting anybody else to appear there. It's just kind of thrown me.
Oh, sorry. Will I jump out?
Well, it's up to yourself, Michael.
Michael, stay there, joining the conversation. So when we went to school, we were told it was either a Big Bang or we were created. So What would you say about the Big Bang? What are your biggest objections to a Big Bang theory?
It's not practical. It's a claim that doesn't have any practicality. They can't show it practically.
All right. Would you say that one of the problems with it is that you can't create something out of nothing because they tell you once upon a time there was nothing and it was a singularity?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've just said. They can't show it practically.
So from education, that just leaves creation or intelligent design. Can you think of any other options as to how we got here?
No, my mind's open to, if there is some sort of naturalistic explanation, some randomness, but, we can't observe or test any of these things. So all that we know and we experience in everyday life is that things being created comes from our mind.
So you could be in your shed, Dale, and you could make yourself a boat with some wood and some tools, but you would physically create it, wouldn't you? So if this place was by intelligent design, it would either have to be physically built or created by thought. Yep. Which camp would you be in, built or thought?
I think probably a mix of both. The thought has to be there, and then you have the practicality. It's been built. How that came about, again, it's just one of these questions that's open. It's still to be answered.
So do you think would you say there was a possibility that the place was physically built like you would build a house?
Yeah.
You would. How big would the people need to be to build this place?
Well, this is it.
Well, how big would you say?
I don't know.
Well, let's say you've got an unlimited budget now. All the money, all the raw materials you can want that are on Earth here, and you're immortal. You've got till the end of time. Could you build this place with limitless resources? Could you actually build it?
Well, it's hard when we're coming from the position we are and the limited thinking that we have, and how we're perceiving life and reality. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really don't have any hypotheses about in regards to what the types of beings would have to be or how big they would be or what their capabilities are. I understand what you're saying, and they would have to be huge, but I don't know. I mean, we might be missing some other capabilities.
If it was created out of thought, wouldn't that be creating something out of nothing?
What a sick fucking thought, though.
No, creating something by thought, isn't that creating something out of nothing?
No, I have to have the thought. Something has to trigger a thought. You build thoughts, and then the thought is in your mind, but in experience, you can bring that thought and manifest it by actually getting practical and bringing it about. So
no, but I mean creating something. So if I said to you, let's say you create an orange in front of you out of thought, you couldn't do it, and if you did, we would say it was supernatural, wouldn't we?
Yep.
So let's say somebody thought this place into existence and created it purely by thought, and not a thought followed by physically building it. Would that not be creating something out of nothing?
Well, we can't ever witness that, Lawrence. That's the hypothetical that I get what you're saying, but I'm a direct realist. I base things in practicality.
What I'm getting at area. Either way, however it was built, to us, it's got to be supernatural, hasn't it? It's something that we could ever envisage it being able to do or anybody else being able to do.
No,
just
right
like
now.
You've got the sun going across the sky every day for thousands of years. I can't see any wires or anything holding it up. That's pretty supernatural as well, isn't it?
Well, we call things supernatural, but right now we just don't understand. So these words like natural and supernatural, I don't know what we're gauging it from. What is natural? What's supernatural? Mm-hmm. What gauge do we have for that? But for me, it comes down to practicality, and just because we don't understand it right now, I couldn't. Sorry, Michael, on you go. I'll just finish. Because I don't understand.
This could all be imaginary. We don't even know.
All right. Well, I mean, I've got this topic here, Del, that nobody ever touches on, but it's huge because, so I'm not pushing any model. I haven't got any definitive model, but we all know that the model being pushed by 95% flat earthers, which is picked up on by those that come into it, and then they proliferate it. But if I said to you,
stay away from that.
here's a question for you both. What are the world's furthest apart cities with a population over 100,000, would you say?
Two furthest apart cities.
On Earth. I've got 3 in front of me here. And how far apart do you think they would be?
Don't know off the top of my head, mate.
All right,
No.
well, I've got 3 here. I've researched this today, and there's 3. Rosario, Argentina to Xinjiang, China, and Luan, China to Rio Cuarto, Argentina, and a place in Ecuador and a place in Malaysia. And they're all 12,400 and something miles apart. 12,400. So, but if I said to you, show me a map where, it's obvious that on the actual map there are places more than twice that distance apart. What can you conclude from that?
Sorry, I've looked at I thought I don't know what you were asking me there, mate.
The maximum distance on Earth, okay, and this is observable, testable, provable, and all that sort of stuff, is 12,400 miles.
Yeah.
But you can look at any flat map. Let's say you took the Mercator map, for example, which is about 12,500 miles north to south, 25,000 miles across, and nearly 28,000 miles corner to corner. So if you place a boat in one corner and asked it to sail to the other corner, on that map it would have to sail 28,000 miles. But on the globe, it would only have to go half that distance. So the conclusion from that is that no map will not work unless it has the same features as the globe. The reason that the maximum distance on the globe is 12,400 is that you can go clockwise or anti-clockwise, whichever is the shortest. There are shortcuts on the globe. They do exist. You can get on a plane from Los Angeles over to Tokyo and you fly west, and it's 5,000 or 6,000 miles. But if you went the other way, if you flew east, it would be about 18,000 miles. These shortcuts do exist, but if you try and portray that particular flight on a map, it requires it going off one side of the map and going on the other. But that would have to happen for any map for it to be effective, because the shortcuts that show up on the globe have to exist on a map. You get people bringing forward all these maps, with ice walls and so on and such, with no shortcuts. But none of those maps will work without a shortcut, because otherwise it cannot mirror what you can do in real life. So in real life, I can get on a plane and fly from Tokyo to Los Angeles or the other way around, and you take shortcut as on the globe, but you can also do it on the flat Earth because we're on the flat Earth.
But the data that you're taking it from, Lawrence, you would have to be taken for granted that when you go on that plane, it does go direct in a straight line, one destination to the other.
You can argue about the actual exact distance, but you look at the flight time, 500 mile an hour for the flight time of the flight time, those distances are going to be pretty accurate, aren't they?
But is the flight going directly in a straight line from one point to the other, or is it arcing?
We don't know. When you look at these flight maps, it does show them as arcing. But if you actually go on Google Earth and you start off at the equator and you travel, I'm just putting this up on my screen here. You go to the equator and you travel 6,225 miles to the west. You're still on the equator. But as you start moving up, if you moved up 10 degrees and you travelled exactly the same distance, you know where you're going to end up? In exactly the same distance that you would on the equator. And if you went up another 1,000 miles or 5,000 miles and travelled 6,225 miles, you're going to end, according to Google Earth, you're going to get up to the same point. So at the equator, east is east and west is west. But as you move north or south, when you move north, going west ultimately leads to going south. So when you get to the North Pole, if you travel west there, it takes you south, straight down. So Google Earth is actually, we know the globe is aligned. So why would Google be showing east-west journey? They're not mirroring the latitude apart from the equator. Totally different.
Yeah, and even on like Google Earth or any globe, they're showing us at the Mercator projection where the land masses are distorted. They're not the proper sizes.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, again, we're taking data and trying to make sense of data data like your own flights. I mean, I've made that point before. If you're on a boat or on a plane and that's arcing at 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, how are you going to know?
Yeah.
But this is what I tried to put out a long time ago and says to people, listen, if you're taking flights, take with you a piece of paper, a pen, a compass, plot your direction from takeoff, and if you can use the time to map your whole flight to see if there's any deviation from the direction that you were going on and when it happened and for how long it happened. But people weren't willing to take part in that. So we're still stuck with data that's coming from, these mainstream sites in regards to what flights are actually doing. And for me,
Exactly.
I've not seen anything conclusive enough to say that's exactly what they're actually doing. If I'm on a boat in the ocean, it feels to me as if I'm going in a straight line, but that straight line could be a huge gap for all I know, and I would never be any the wiser unless I was sitting there, the apparatus actually mapping it in real time, each moment, the whole journey, But I take it the point is referencing the kind of Pac-Man map, and that's why you were saying about things being created through a thought and being supernatural.
Yeah, Mark Sargent will say there are no shortcuts on the flat Earth. That only applies to the globe. Well, Mark Sargent knows, that we're on a flat Earth, so those same shortcuts have to apply on the flat Earth because you can experience them. If you can experience them on the globe, you must be able to experience them on the flat Earth.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, it's not an avenue I pursue. You know my journey. I don't sit on trying to discover what the maps and the shapes are or what's going on with the luminaries and stuff.
When people go out on the streets, I posted you this the other day. I don't know whether you've had a chance to look at it. When people go out on the streets and sometimes they'll take their laptop with them and show the people on harnesses in the space lab, the ISS. But I've got one here that you can actually print off, which is actually brilliant. And you'll actually see this in flight dynamics manuals. So flight dynamics, this is for people who study, flying airplanes, like pilots. And obviously they have to go on courses. I've got a bit of the course literature here. So section 1, introduction, 1.1 basic concepts, 1.1.1 controlling the aeroplane. Then it goes on to 1.1.2. So this is for flight dynamics for pilots and the like. And it says, I quote,
What?
In this summary, we want to describe the flight dynamics with equations. This is, however, very difficult. To simplify it a bit, we have made some simplifying assumptions. We assume that there is a flat Earth. The Earth's curvature is 0. There is a non-rotating Earth, and there is no Coriolis effect. And this is what they're teaching pilots. And you can print this off yourself and take it on the streets and show people. Yeah. So if you can imagine how complicated it would be to actually fly on a stationary one, never mind one that's spinning around at varying speeds according to which and then it's whizzing through space at 67,000 miles an hour, and you've got to fly a plane over it and land on a surface that's moving that fast. I mean, the maths for that would be so complicated, they couldn't even write it down. So that's why they say they're assuming it's flat Earth, because it is a flat Earth. Well, this is what they're giving out to pilots. So why aren't the pilots coming forward to say, maybe they just take it with a pinch of salt. But these pilots are told, when they're doing their assumptions about flying an aeroplane, you've got to assume the Earth is flat, it's not rotating, and there is 0 curvature. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get some pilots who are, fully trained and they can walk us through the process and what they're actually told. Who knows? I'm not a pilot, and I've not really had a chance to speak to any who are, commercial airline pilots or whatever. I've spoken to people who fly privately and stuff, and they'll say the same things. But who knows what they're actually saying, if they're sworn to secrecy, or whether they then say, but after all that, as a globe, but it's relative and you don't really notice. I don't know. Just to get back, I just want to get back to you were touching on supernatural and natural and things starting from a thought, and I'm just hypothesizing, I'm just discussing this, it's not any claims or anything, but everybody knows that we dream, and in a dream state, you're generating worlds. It might not be something tangible that we can measure and repeat and bring out and actually show anybody, but that idea is there. If we dream, when you have a dream, you're creating a world, you're creating light, your sun, people people, I mean, my mind's open to anything, Lawrence, but I have to be a direct realist. My whole lesson through life and right up to this point is to base things on practicality. And everything in reality shows me that it can be practically shown. And if there is something like the Pac-Man, and it's maybe something that we've not discovered or we don't understand yet, then hopefully we will understand it and discover it, you know? Sorry, Mike, when you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, you can experience physical effects in your dreams, you know? So who's to say that this isn't some kind of dream as well? Not saying it is, but I'm just saying it's an idea. Like, you can feel physical things in your dream, so we can also feel physical things here in this reality. So who's to say they're separated? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's again, my mind's open to any possibility. I just know at this moment in time we have...
I'm not pushing it. No, I'm not pushing it. I'm just saying it's an idea.
Of course, man. Of course, I totally understand that. I'm just stating my point. You know, I have to veer away from that type of thing and just stick to practicality.
Me too, 100%. I'm just saying, when people start talking about these things, you can mirror them. Let's say you can, just.
We can play with them. We can play with them. You know, I can see merit in any of these ideas based on things that we've just discussed there. You know.
Exactly, and just to get on to the point of planes and flying and all this kind of stuff. Do you ever see the jets that fly like super close to the water, like for fucking ages? Yeah. And I really doubt they're taking in any curvature.
There's no curvature or Coriolis being accounted for there.
Of course there isn't, man. People are fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's the magic force. It's the magic force that keeps it at the same altitude as it goes over the curvature, man, you know?
Oh, yeah, dude. The atmosphere is moving as well. It's fucking... it's just magical. It's a magical world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with dreams, isn't it, Dal? Because you sat there and you have dreams in full colour, but you've got your eyes closed. So presumably you're seeing things with your third eye, and maybe you just, maybe you do leave your body and go somewhere and, some parallel existence. It seems a slightly different state, but you can have dreams that just seem so real. You can actually look around things and remember it afterwards, and and it's all the details there.
Yeah, but it's not because of light penetrating through your fucking skin and your retina and your eyeball. You can put somebody in a darkened room. Make sure there's no light penetrating that room whatsoever. If that person goes to sleep, they're going to see, they're going to perceive things. Yeah. So,
well, I'll tell you what happened to me in the week, Dally, which was, it was really freaky. I'd had a bit of weed, a bit of the green stuff, only a little bit, but I must have got a strong bit, and I was having half a whitey, and I was feeling hot. So I went out in the garden, and it was wet, and I just took my top off and lay down on my back and shut my eyes to try and just get through this bit of a whitey, and the sun was out, so I was just looking, visualizing what was there, and it was golden first. But when I shut my eyes and meditate a bit, I get all sorts of colours, and sometimes I even get street scenes, and I can see stuff. But I got my eyes shut, and it went from the gold colour of the sun, which I saw, the heat on my eyes, to purples and greens. And then the next thing I saw, and my eyes were still shut, was a blue sky, and all these birds flying over really fast, in a kind of formation. Anyway, I just decided to open my eyes then. And as I opened my eyes, these very same birds in the same formation were flying over. And it really freaked me out. I thought, I've just opened my eyes and I was seeing that before I opened them. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird, man.
Well, that's that. I mean, there's much to be, explored and thought about. In regards to that, I've shared some of my experiences. The term things, sleep paralysis and out-of-body experiences. From a young age, I experienced that, and I was told that it was this or that or the next thing. When it was nonsense, obviously other things going on that we just can't quite get in touch with right now. But as I say, my mind's open to any of these possibilities.
Well, you were saying there, about going down lying in the grass. I was just doing it the last day. I was in the grass in a big open field, lied back and tilted my right flat on my back, looked right back, back over my head when I was lying down, and you could see a globe effect. Let's say the way I'm just saying it's just perspective. It's just an odd thing I seen. I wasn't after one or two doobies.
Now that I'm not smoking the doobies, I'm hoping that I'm going to get some vivid dreams again.
Shit.
Do you know what I think might happen at some point? Because some flat earthers are getting older, and eventually some really wealthy people will become flat earthers and will be so curious about where they are are, if they're told they're terminally ill and they've not got long to live, there'd be nothing to stop them, fueling up an aircraft and just flying north and see where it took them, because that's certainly what I'd do.
Yeah, live stream it.
And,
live stream it.
Yeah, if you're allowed, yeah.
Because whatever they're hiding from us, it's got to be to the north or to the south, because it's just oceans east and west. So there's got to be something up there that's,
Sure, the fucking Antarctic treaty thing, if that's real or not, who the fuck knows, man? You're supposedly not allowed to go to Antarctica, however big or small or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be.
Yeah, there's many restrictions.
Yeah, I know. It is. But I think the whole flat Earth thing now.
Yeah, we need more
Can't go on
exploration.
Sorry, Mike, we broke up there, bud.
I'm just going to say, when you go on YouTube now, Dale, it's hard to find anything that's genuinely interesting, because the whole place is swamped with like 24-hour stuff, which is just reruns of what was played yesterday and the day before.
Exactly.
It's quite sad that you've got hundreds of people watching repeats, and you click on it, and there's 400 or 500 people watching this stuff that's been played for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And you think, who are these people? They're obviously just going there to chat. They're not actually going there to learn anything new.
Well, I say that all the time. People claim they want truth, but what percentage of people are actually determined and really actually want to find out? And who's happy just to be part of some counterculture and be entertained and wait for somebody else to figure it out for them? That's always to be the case.
Did you watch John when he did that little film about the watermelon over some kind of tower? I don't know where it was in Scotland.
I've seen that. Yeah.
He had a watermelon, and he got one of these plastic footballs that really light. And I'd have sworn the watermelon would have got down to the bottom first, but it was the light ball which sort of went against the grain a bit. So, what did you think was going to happen?
I just thought the heavier object's going to land first.
Yeah, he says he's going to go somewhere higher up. I don't know where he's going to go, but yeah, it probably needs to be synchronised more. But by the looks of it, there's not much between the two, isn't it? If you chucked a feather over, that would definitely take longer to get down. But
you get resistance. It depends on the materials you're using. You'd have to be right into that and repeat it over and over again and try different different materials. And who knows?
Yeah, when you look at the activist things, there's all sorts that people could do. They probably will do, but you could get flat Earth cards and go around every single pub. You could get stickers and stick them on the inside doors of all the motorway toilets and on the windows. Yeah. You could probably if when I got into 9/11, I had out of my own pocket. I got 10,000 colour leaflets printed. It was all bollocks because it was all the false stuff came out at first, but I didn't know that. You can get tens of thousands of stickers for not very much. People could go and stick it everywhere. I know it would get up people's noses, and you might get done for graffiti, but that would bring people in.
For a second, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I interject for a second? The Joe, when I bring up like flat Earth people, they immediately get turned off because they're like, flat Earth. Obviously, the Earth is not flat. You can see mountains, blah 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 blah. So if you take it maybe from a different angle, like we're not on a globe or something like that, or flat water, or something like that.
You have to be able to articulate people. Like, obviously that's ridiculous. We have high points and low points. Nobody actually claims that it's as flat as a pancake. It's just a fallacy on your part, and you have to be able to point that out to them. But you can approach it from different angles. I was going to ask you that, Lawrence. We heard some statements earlier in regards to activism being counterproductive and nonsense. You've been in this a long time as well. You've seen how things have moved on because of people getting active.
Yeah, well, I think the problem is that, we could get lots of people interested in flat Earth and come into it, but at the moment it's a bit of a poison chalice, because they're going to get poisoned with loads of duff information when they go in and repeat it. That's the big problem, and that's where you've got, this conference in America, which sounds like they're doing it for the money and charging people $17 to watch the video of it as it happens, or maybe shortly afterwards. But they're all singing to the same hymn sheet, and they've got a press guide on the website, which is just telling them this fucking Peter Pine model flat Earth, which has been thoroughly debunked. There's more people coming in now speaking out about it, but that's the problem. So you could get thousands of people becoming flat earthers, and then, because they want to say, well, what does it look like? And they're just going to show them that map. When we don't know. But you say you don't know, it sounds like, well, how do you know it's flat then? That's the problem.
Well, that's it. Well, that's why I'm always so strong in saying to people, look, you focus on the claim, and you can say the claim's false, and we can deduce that it's a level plane and some sort of container, but we don't know the full dimensions, and you're allowed to say that you don't know. But again, it comes back to that problem of people require uncertainty because they're coming from a mindset that you've got the gurus, the scientism saying, look, we've got it all figured out right to the Big Bang, and we've got this huge complete picture, and people are used to that, having that kind of certainty, and it's alien to them for them to actually sit there and say, none of these actually know. So it's quite difficult for them. But the truth's the truth at the end of the day. You're better just sticking to it and pulling them up on their fallacies as you're having the conversation with them,
Yeah, I know. Well, you could get a million flat earthers all congregating in London, for argument's sake. Not that there's a million in the UK, but it wouldn't appear in the mainstream newspapers. They'd just block it out. There's been 100,000 plus protests before, which I've seen been totally, unreported on the main news. So, the whole point of having these mass protests is for lots of people to see it on the mainstream news. So the problem we've got there is mainstream media. They won't touch it until they're told to. But obviously, the mainstream are going to take it up at some point because you're not going to have a Obama bloody mentioning it God knows how many times, and Trump and all these other talking flat earth stuff. They've obviously got some plan in the wings. They're going to bring this plan out and maybe they're going to tell us that there's a flat earth, but it's probably going to be a different one to what it really is. They're going to sell you one false story for another
rabbit hole. Yeah,
that's exactly what I feel is happening in regards to the mainstream media. We know that they're already touching it, and I've actually been contacted by a couple of them. So so it's definitely on the cards. I'd like to think that it's just all going to be revealed, but we can't depend on that being the case. You have to be cautious, and for me, the way I see the game being played, it's exactly like you say, Lance. They're going to offer us some other bollocks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to be something where you can't escape. I would imagine. Like it is now, unless you got a rocket ship in the theoretical globe, you can't get away from the Earth. So whatever it is, they're going to have us hemmed in, and they might even say we're enclosed by some alien force field or whatever.
Could be they might offer us a savior. I think people are really crying out, like we don't know anything, we don't know anything. Oh, we need a savior to tell us this is it. This is the truth. This is God.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem with this God thing, though, isn't it? Because you can look at all these different religions, and individually, they all got this divine message telepathically from their God, and they wrote it down in a book which was printed by man. And they all claim their God is the correct one. Well, they can't all be correct. Chances are none of them are. And these gods that humans worship, these gods may well have been invented by the same group of people to control the world. Because if you're in charge of the world, and we know people are running this place, if they wanted just one religion, that's all we'd have. But we've got lots of religions. They want us to have lots of religions, so it's squabbling with each other. If they just wanted one religion, believed in this God that did this at such and such a time, and there was one holy book, they could have that. But they choose.
If you were God, right, wouldn't you make it blatantly fucking obvious as to what's going on here?
Yep.
Do you know what I mean, man? Fucking hell.
That's what I always try and bring people back to, and for me personally, when I have an overview of this reality and what it entails, who the fuck would worship anybody that would create us in the first place? Why the fuck would you create sentient life just to fucking survive, to struggle to survive and fucking eat each other? People don't ask deep enough questions. That they're sold this life is valuable, life's a gift, life is precious. What life are we fucking talking about? We don't even know where we are. We don't know whose fucking place this is or what its purpose is. But you get this mantra continually pushed out there, and regardless of anybody and their different opinions about spirituality and whatever religion, they always have this underlying assumption that they've to value it, and that it's precious, and that it's a gift, and that it's something that you have to hold close to your heart. When I've not been convinced of anything that I would hold dear to my heart here at all, in regards to the people, the sentience that I experience things. I had that close to me. I value that. But the reality and what it entails and what the overall picture is, it's not something I respect. I think it's a fucking abomination, and I've heard my opinion on that many times, you know. But people still stuck on this mentality of trying to find belonging and meaning, and you're meant to be here, and it's wonderful. I just don't get it. Don't fucking get it.
Oh, we're God's test for the next life. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. No, but it makes you wonder.
Swallow up, man, because they're in a state of unknowing and can't accept that they don't know, so they'll latch onto some bullshit that tells them that they think they know. Makes sense, doesn't it? You know?
Some sort of certainty, yeah. Something that appeals to them, and that's why you've got so many of them, because they know that people are varied. You couldn't just have one, because there'd be that many varied people that would start hearing it and say that's bollocks. So when you get so many, you get the chance of appealing, the majority, because you have different avenues that will quell and satisfy their curiosity or their questioning, you know?
Yeah, man. You can move from religion to religion. Sorry.
That's the same as shit like karma, that's just a fucking another tool. Oh, it's all right, you don't need to worry about it, question anything that's going on. Karma will sort it out. These put it out there just to keep you apathetic,
Karma's fucking hilarious, dude. I used to believe in karma and shit like that, but then you look around yourself and it's like, well, what about everybody else's karma? This guy's getting fucked up over here. He never did nothing to no one.
Why is that child being born with 3 legs and fucking 6 eyes? Was that bad in its previous life? I mean, get to fuck.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking dumb motherfuckers, man. Well, people are waking up, dude. It's not all doom and gloom. People are waking up.
That's it.
What do you say to those people that suggest that, we're actually here we're providing energy through negative emotions to some entities that feed off it? Because if you look at the so-called elite who have all the money and all the resources, they could wipe us out tomorrow if they wanted to. They could have just poisoned the water a long time ago. And, we've got technology for anything that they need now, but they need to keep us alive, but in a state of stress. I mean, most people are in pretty much state of stress. You get up in the morning and you get in the traffic and you drive to work, and then you may well have a stressful job at work all day, and, you go and have a drink at lunchtime and get a bit more stress from that, and you get in the same old box and drive home from work, and, and then you've got to cook and sit down and you watch your box. Most people do. And you're in perpetual stress. And then at the weekend, you might go and watch some sport, but, that's a lot.
Which is also stressful to a lot of people. My fucking team lost.
Most people are in a constant state of giving off negative emotions because they're stressed to fuck with the everyday workings of life. And those emotions that you have when you're stressed exist, and somebody may well be feeding off them, and that's why they keep us here.
Exactly, sucking your energy, man. You could be as happy as a fucking button and go around one of your mates who's fucking absolutely stressed out of his mind, and you're going to feel just as stressed as he is in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, and it's like, why has football become so popular? Because
oh my god, fucking lunatics.
It's huge, isn't it? It's.
Oh, sorry, I'm not dissing football or anything. I like a bit of soccer, man. I play a bit of soccer myself. Love it, enjoy it. It's fun, but once it goes past fun into fucking lunacy, that's where you draw the line. Like
maybe the powers that be, or the people they act for, they feed off the energy that's generated from the people watching it and the people in the stadium, and they harness this energy somewhere. I mean,
yeah, there's real energy in stadiums and shit like that, man. You can feel it. Vibration is fucking whatever the fuck it is, energy.
It's like it's like if you've got a tennis match, if one player's got the crowd with him, he's going to have a better chance with the crowd. Yeah. I mean, some of them, they try and get the crowd doing all this clapping, don't they? To like they do with the long jump in the Olympics, they get them clapping before, and it sort of gets them into a more focused state on what they're going to do.
Exactly. Do you remember Iceland in was it the European Cup or the World Cup last time? The European or whatever it was. Iceland, the big clap, the build-up clap. I don't know if you know or if you've seen it, but yeah, that's a fucking form of a whole mass of people sending energy. Let's say
it's like a psychodrama. It's transformational. It's like a ritual. You see it even in New Zealand, the All Blacks, and they do and it helps get them into a state of mind. That's there's stuff there that you can understand in regards to helping yourself and achieving goals that you want to achieve. That stuff does actually work. And they refer to it, I mean, even like a football stadium, they refer to the crowd as the 12th man. I've seen it, I've witnessed it overcoming odds, just because of the energy and the atmosphere. It drives the players on to achieve better than they would have. So
it's like a placebo effect, same kind of idea.
I mean, this is it. These concepts, as I say, these ideas, I don't rule it. Who knows what the the full objective truth is and what their part in it actually is. As I say, I'm open to any of them.
Yeah, I'm just questioning myself, man. I've no beliefs, no models, no nothing, man. I'm just questioning, chatting to people, you know.
Exactly. That's it. And that's it. You know, you just got to remind people of that all the time. Look, we're just people who are chatting about ideas and concepts. There's none of us are making any claims to these things being objectively true, you know. But it's great that we throw these things at each other because it can trigger new thought in us and, you know, contemplating other ideas, you know.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
But people, like I was watching your street interviews and, you know, that stuff, and your videos. I watch your videos, you know, they're fucking hours long, but I still watch them, and it's, you know, repetition, stick to the fucking point, you know.
Yeah.
If people try to make claims about something else, prove the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You're not trying to claim anything. You're saying, right, these guys are trying to claim something without any proof. Yeah. So how the fuck can you believe in that? But the majority, I would say, well, before I would have said the majority. I don't think it's that anymore. I think people are waking up. But so they're turning a blind eye to bullshit. Because I like, just from my own personal experience, John, talking to a lot of people about it, not pushing anything, just giving people little ideas, like telling people about the speeds that we're supposed to be doing flying through space. And they're like, what? We're doing what? We're doing 500 billion miles an hour through space. What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what actual mainstream science is telling us. And then they're like, no, that doesn't, nah. And then they go research and they're like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense, man. I can't feel shit. Even the first one that they're saying 1,000 miles an hour we're spinning, or a little bit less, whatever it is, where I am in fucking Kerry. They're like, I can't feel shit. How can you have a flat body of water at this speed? It makes no fucking sense. Someone's lying to someone. To everyone.
Well, that's because I lied.
Sorry. This place was made, created, thought into existence, whatever. Would you say, have you ruled out the possibility that whoever made us, whatever intelligent design it was, have you ruled out the possibility that it could be malevolent? I.e., bad people who made us.
That's what I'm saying.
Who knows? Sorry.
No, that's what I keep. Sorry, man. That's what I keep referring to. You know, this reality as a whole. You have to ask yourself what type of mind or being would actually put this in motion in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, why the fuck would you create something with sentience just to survive and struggle every day, worried about getting ate with some other fucking sentience? It's incredible. But people, as I say, they keep getting stuck in these limited ways of thinking. And just as you kind of referenced there, Lawrence, you know, us as a whole, I mean, the different races don't add up. I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking about some god that's just making, there's a black race, right, I'll open the window and throw them in and then I'll make that? Or are we talking about, you know, life from other places that are being brought here and put together? I mean, you know, my mind gets through different avenues. Do you
remember South Park, Planet Earth? Did you ever watch that one?
No.
Oh, dude, look it up. At Planet Earth, South Park. It's fucking brilliant. It's just like all the races are like, you know, like birds, zebras, people all put here, and it's like filmed and stuff. So like every other race that's outside of Earth is watching us like an experiment because they put us all together. Oh, it's fucking funny as shit, man.
It's just feasible. The other fucking idea that's out there.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember that hymn at school? We used to do hymns at school, and we used to sing all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things bright and beautiful. Oh, God made them all. So he made the fucking zebra so it could get eaten by the lion. I mean, you know, a loving fucking God would not put a food chain like, you know, where to survive, you've got to go and eat something else. And you can't say lions were vegetarians at one stage. Take a look at their frigging teeth.
Yep.
You know, or even, you know, cats and dogs, they've got ripping teeth. They're designed to eat flesh. So this creation, you know, was designed by somebody where he wants to see suffering.
Yep.
Unless what's here now has been changed from what it was initially.
Well, that's it. You know, that's the exact same avenues of thought that I go to, Lawrence, as well. And I try and still reason with it and come up with other things. And I'll say things to myself like, well, maybe what we call predators were actually just there to clean up natural death. If things were left to their own devices and, you know, we didn't herd thing and control and cull, then if there was abundance, there would be enough natural death for these predators, or what we call predators, to survive, you know, because they're just there to clean up the mess. They're not really there to kill in order to, you know, eat. I mean, I still play with different theories to trying to rationalise it and come up with something, but none of them seem to work out. If we're talking about gods and entities like that, why would you just fucking leave them there? And what is the end game? It's not as if they keep saying these mantras: we have to survive, we have to keep the species alive, we have to save that species and this species. You go, save them for what? So that they can keep on suffering. Where does it end?
Yeah.
So, but it's not like people get this misinterpretation that it's doom and gloom. It's not. It's just an honest, healthy look at reality that you're actually living in.
Discovery, experience.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you think a so-called loving God would have us down here being creative, being artists, and and just enjoying the beauty of the planet that we're on. But everybody is, apart from a few, everybody is in. They go to work. Is slavery in any other name? You've got no choice. If you don't go to work, you don't eat. You don't have a roof over your head.
But we've got physical
so everybody's forced to go and work for a whole lifetime, so maybe they get a few weeks to go and enjoy something, which should be the other way around, surely.
If it's meant to be something that you value and that you have to cherish, then it should be a fucking great time. No, this shit that we live and experience right now. And yet,
you get that. I believe there's some divine force out there, but I don't choose to label it as God. But what we have now is, this creation's a fucking mess, isn't it? You've got humans at the top of the so-called food chain, all in slavery, being made ill by the system and indoctrinated with false stories from the day they start school. How's it going to change? Because getting people to break out of mindsets is very difficult, and they're making it worse by making people less intelligent. So in the United States, your typical teenage girls had about 40 or 50 shots, vaccines full of toxic stuff that lowers your IQ, as does fluoride and all this stuff. So people aren't even smart enough to work out they're being shafted.
Yep, and they're suffering. It's
indoctrinated.
Sorry, Michael, when you go.
There's less and less smart people out there figuring it out. Like what's his name said, Carlin guy, just make them smart enough to operate the machines and fill in the paperwork, but dumb enough to realise that they're being shafted and their money's being stolen.
Yeah.
Man, fucking indoctrination from a very, very young age. Why do you think they get the kids into school so young? Is it Finland or somewhere you kind of have a choice what age to go to school or something? Well,
the choice is here in the UK as well. An education is mandatory, but going to school is not. So people have the choice here. It's just that they're just so caught up in their own lives that they just continue the patterns that they've experienced through life, that they went to school and that's the way life is. They just take it all for granted. They never stop to actually think about what's going on. But no, here in the UK, it's not
exactly, dude.
You don't have to be sending them. You can take control of that and educate the children yourself.
Same in Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know. Yeah.
I mean, some of the Scandinavian countries, they've got a bit more common sense. So places like it was Sweden, and they banned mercury fillings in dentistry. I mean, originally all dentistry was gold, but that was expensive. And they discovered mercury and apparently could fill people's teeth with it. But it's the most toxic metal on earth. So you could have had
all the fucking mercury, dude.
Those black fillings put on the National Health Dentist. You want to go and get them taken out and replaced now. They're wearing mats and extractors and breathing apparatus, and they want to charge you a couple of grand to take them out and put something that. But these people have got away with it because.
Can you get? Sorry. May I interject for a second? Can you get mercury fillings taken out?
Yeah.
This dentist that I fucking went to, he said, I was like, when I found out about it years ago now, about mercury and poison and shit like that, I goes to the dentist. I was like, oh, can I get these fucking taken out and put with whatever else is there that's non-toxic? He was like, oh no, that'll destroy your teeth and all this kind of shit. And I just walked away and just believed it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if you've got a lot of fillings in your mouth, you could end up going senile early. I mean, I'd look at
that's why I'm on here.
Alternative health. And I saw this woman a few years ago, and she came to a chat me where I was doing a talk, and she got a bit of a metallic glow to her face. And my initial thought was, she's got mercury poisoning. And as it turned out, she got a whole mouthful of fillings, and she got them health improved dramatically. She had them all removed, but it cost her about £3,000.
Yeah.
So it's an expensive business to undo the damage that's already been done by the people that are supposed to be there to look after your health, not destroy it.
So,
it's sick.
Yeah, man. man. It goes all the way along, man. Fucking education is fucking destroyed. History is destroyed. Fucking you name it. It's been corrupted. We're being corralled into some fucking imagination land.
Guys, just a wee second. I'm just going to.
Sorry for cutting across. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm just getting out to the toilet here, so I'll be back in a wee second.
Okay, mate. Do you drink the tap water, Michael?
Sorry?
Do you drink the tap water in Ireland?
Do I drink the tap water? I do, yeah. I know it's full of shit. There's arsenic and everything in the motherfucker, man. But, I can buy bottled water, but that's in plastic as well. Sorry, go on.
Are you in the south of Ireland or the north?
Oh, I'm in the southwest.
All right, so your water will be fluoridated then?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, don't drink it, mate.
I'm drinking it. I know. What's the alternative?
You can buy a reverse osmosis filter. You buy them on eBay for about 120 quid. They're pretty easy.
Yeah.
And it takes all the shit out of your water. Once you've done it, it costs you about 30 quid a year to replace the filters. But if you keep drinking that shit, it's going to impact on your health.
Combined with the mercury in my fucking teeth, yeah.
Yeah, and don't drink the Guinness because that's got shitloads of fluoride in it.
Yeah, and toothpaste as well, obviously.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, but seriously, don't drink the water over there because
any chance you could send
the fluoride accumulates in your bones and makes them brittle as you get older. So you're more likely to get hip fractures and stuff like that if you're in a fluoride.
Calcinates or calcifies your fucking pineal gland and shit as well, doesn't it, supposedly?
Yeah. Right, I'm going to get a cup of coffee for you. I don't know whether Del wants to chat anymore.
Shit, it's not just me on here, is it?
No, you can't do it on here, but my attention swings to the chat and the admin, so don't feel completely abandoned.
Oh, I'm just as bad as you, man. Could you give us a song?
Don't you start.
Early now, the globe is gone.
That's what we need. A bit of fucking Saturday entertainment, man. You carry on.
Oh, get on the bow tie neck.
So, all right, Del, so let's say that, we find out that there's a nice place you can go that's outside of Earth, somewhere, but it's quite a long way away. How are you going to get there?
I've got a GSX 1400, man. All I need is an extra bit of fuel and I'm fucking out of here.
Nice. I'd love to be able to drive a fucking motorbike. My brother fucking do, man. You go flying on the motherfuckers, man. I'm scared of shit to go driving them.
I'll only do what you tell it, man.
Any advice for the motorbike in this movie? Sorry?
Oh, you broke up there, mate. I missed that.
Oh, sorry.
So,
oh, no. Did you hear what I said? No, I was just having a laugh, man.
No, I totally missed it. You broke up there, bud.
Oh, I was saying, any advice for the newbie who wants to try a motorbike, who's shit scared of it?
Don't be scared. It's only going to do what you want it to do, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But what about you, Lawrence? I mean, what would you hope for if there was somewhere you could go? Do you think there is somewhere else? You think? What do you think about my thinking of you being encased in a sphere? But,
yeah, dude, we're living in an outdoor prison.
We could be in a cube. We could be any kind of shape. But whatever it is, it's probably beyond the concept of us to understand how they did it, because it's not just the size of the Earth; it's all the intricate workings of it. Because there's a relationship. It's like you get certain insects that eat certain insects, and plants that pollinate in certain plants, and the seeds are. It's like everything's like a machine of sorts. So you've got DNA if it exists. Which is like computer code. It's like somebody's, built this place, and it must have took an awful lot of planning, or, maybe they can think super quickly. But how would you put together a place that's 25,000 miles across and weighs trillions of tons? Because it had to be, whoever created it isn't within us, whoever created this place has got to be external to where it is to actually make it.
Yep.
There has to be somewhere else. Whoever made us is somewhere else. And, they're monitoring us.
It's the same as anything. If I built a huge warehouse and I kept a colony of ants in it, to them that's massive, and they think that's the world and that's all that exists. In reality, if you build any kind of construct, the construct exists somewhere, and how the construct is going to be a large reality. It's like what are people imagining that when you get to the edges that it starts slowly dissipating Michael, I'm getting really bad noise for you, man. I'm just going to mute you there. Are people imagining that reality starts to dissipate into some, other dimension? For me, it's everything that we witness is construction, it's machine-like. So for me, there must be an avenue out of here, and there is a larger environment out there that we're just not aware of. And how it came to be and how it was built, obviously, would still be, ongoing. I mean, look, as I keeps referencing, look at some of the technology we have. And for me, it's like voodoo magic, and the majority of us don't have any real understanding on how this technology works, although we use it and apply it every day, but we don't have a real understanding of how what's going on. What's going on with us right now? We're all here in real time, hearing and seeing each other on a screen. I mean, to me, that's absolutely mind-blowing. Huh?
Yeah, so, I mean, even the thought of, I used to watch Star Trek in the 70s, and, when they haven't got around to beaming you up yet, Scotty, but the fact that they could actually talk to somebody, thousands of miles away on a handheld device, when I was a teenager, that was just science fiction. And, before you know it, it's become reality. And, I had a mobile phone when it was the size of a double house brick, it weighed a couple of kilos. And they've sort of miraculously gone from that to these, devices that are actually walking computers. But you've got the whole population, certainly of women, they walk around with these handheld devices, up and down the street, every bus stop, every train station, you're going around the supermarket, and they're all walking around with it. They never put them down. And it's like they've become a slave to that machine. And you get some people, they leave the house and they haven't got their mobile device with them. They've got to go home and fetch it.
Yeah. If you took a smartphone from today and took it back 100 years ago, people would look at that and think it was some sort of supernatural device that you have. So, that's my point. Just because, we don't have an understanding of certain things, it's like, is it supernatural? Is it natural? What are we gauging it from, For me, we have these faculties and these senses, and I think that it can all be discovered. I don't think there's going to be anything out there that we're never going to be able to know. I think the kind of ideas are disempowering. I wouldn't want to entertain that in my consciousness, that, I'm stuck in a place that I'm never going to be able to fathom out or experience or know yet. I've got all these senses and faculties that give me that ability to know and understand things, you know what I mean?
But Del, don't you think it's like all the other shit that's going on in the world? The only way it's ever going to change is for a revolution, for the entire population to revolt against them, and storm every parliament building in the world and say we're taking this world back.
Yep.
Other than that, how's it any going to change? Because most people live in a state of fear.
Yep.
You've got the herd mentality. If you get a few people doing it, you'll get more doing it. But you need millions to overcome the people that are running this world.
Well, hopefully that's what's going to happen, mate. There's many people out there that are endeavouring to make that a reality. So we can only hope that it comes to fruition. Huh?
Yeah, but they're doing it by degree, aren't they? So they bring all these subtle little changes in, which slowly and surely takes away more of your liberties, and you find out, that you get the bloody council. They want to fine you for where your car comes 3 inches over the edge of your curb because somebody's pinched your parking space on the road, and they slap a ticket on you. I mean, it's getting more and more, you're having to ask permission to do anything these days, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's it. It's, we went there yesterday or the day before, and we had to go and rush our traffic, and you're looking at it and going, it's people do this every fucking single day, and you're like, why, what's wrong with you? Just wake up, just take a step back and say, fuck this is nonsense, what are we contributing to here? But people are quite happy with the shiny and the little bits, the perks that they get, and they seem to be quite happy with that. It's like Stockholm syndrome, It's like, I know I'm being bullied and I know I'm being controlled, but I'm getting this wee bit, so that makes it all right, and it's nonsense. But we can only hope, as I say, there's many people in different... Sorry, Michael.
Sorry.
No, you were going to say something there, or you want it?
It's just divide and conquer, man. Different fucking... and people are going to latch on to different ones and go against the other ones, I'm going to fight you because you're a Rangers fan, you're a Celtic fan, you like this philosophy, you like that philosophy. Keep people fighting fucking each other for no fucking reason. You're getting nowhere at the end of the day.
But that's part of the education. It's helping people to recognise what is a subjective preference and what is objectively true. And that's part of the journey for me. This whole thing is about establishing what's objectively true, and showing people that, just as you said earlier, for me, like football, for talking's sake, I choose to partake in it for entertainment purposes or for me to play it. That's as far as it goes. But people are entrenched in patriotism towards it and belonging. And for me, it's just all symptoms of the bewilderment. It's people are lost in life. They don't have any real answers, so they're going to take any of these substitutes and go away it wholeheartedly and entrench themselves in it to have some sort of belonging and meaning. You know, when it's empty, it's no based in rooting through.
Like the McGregor Mayweather fight and shit like that. That's fucking, you know, huge to people.
Yeah.
I'm for Mayweather. I'm for fucking McGregor. I'm Irish, so I have to be for McGregor. You know, that kind of stupid shit.
Yeah. And why is it, Del? I mean, I find people have their difficult. Flat earthers, I can't understand why flat earthers don't get this. But you know, when you say what is the most obvious proof that we're not on a spinning ball, you'd say water. Good, but I would say, well, let's take a ball. Where is the only place you can actually stand up? And it's right on the top. And we don't live on the top, you know.
Everything's dropping away from you, yeah.
There's no way you could live apart from the top because you'd fall off the fucker.
Exactly, man.
But when you say that, they accuse you of being childish.
Yeah.
That's their claim.
Well,
you live on a fucking big circular ball. You know, unless you're on the top, you're at a freaking ridiculous angle. And then they'll come up with, yeah, but everywhere's up, except when it's on a small ball. I have a small ball in a park, a big stone ball. Well, everywhere isn't up on that. Yeah, but when this ball gets to a certain size, everywhere suddenly becomes up. Can't tell one way or the other. You know, you think you're upright even when you're upside down because that's what gravity makes you think. Not only does it stick you to the earth, it makes you think you're upright even when you're upside down. I mean, it's so absurd. I mean, just when you think about it, you can only stand up on the top of a ball, can't you? You can't stand up in Paisley on the ball. You look where Paisley is. Yeah, you're stood out at 45 degrees or roundabout on there. You can't stand up. Everywhere will be uphill. You can have a day out to London, get in your car, get on your bike, put it in neutral, and you could scoot all the way down to London. If Paisley, in relation to London, was the same as the ball.
Yeah, you know? That's the difference. That's the difference between practicality and theoretical nonsense. And it's just as you say about proofs, you know, you show them that and go, well, show me two objects attracted to each other. Show me a ball where water's stuck to it and there's things stuck at the top and stuck at the bottom, you know, and you're claiming that's scientific, and then you're going to say that I'm childish and ridiculous, yet you believe in this fanciful story that you can never recreate, model in any way, shape or form, apart from fucking plastic or plasticine. I mean, that's fucking childish, you know? That's like fucking bringing a Star Wars figurine in here, or that alien and claiming, well, I've got an alien there and it's made of that. Aliens are real, look. I mean, I've got a fucking model. Huh?
Well, I think, I mean, if you can just imagine now, Del, that we make you 7 years old or 6 years old again, but you know what you know now. You go back to school with all this knowledge you've got now, and you're, you know, and it's the day the teacher tells you about the globe in the classroom, knowing what the reaction of all the other kids would be. What are you going to say to the teacher when she tells you that you're living on a ball? What would you say?
I'd probably just laugh.
Yeah.
And say, stop talking shit. Who told you that? And what proof do you actually have apart from the plastic toy you have in your desk? You know? And then watch them cascade into denial and cognitive dissonance, you know?
And then you've got flat earthers who have children now, and they get to the stage where they take them to school. You know, there's going to be some interesting stuff there, because there's more than a handful of flat earthers, and I mean, it's already happened with vaccines. My niece told the teacher came in and announced to the class that you're all having this HPV vaccine next Thursday, and my niece stood up and says, Miss, I won't be having that because it makes you infertile, and she didn't have it. But you have to give a written explanation now as to why you're refusing the vaccine. And like in the States, you know, it has to be for religious reasons or something like that.
Yeah, different countries have got different laws and stuff, but as far as I'm aware here in my experience with my kids, vaccines and needles getting near them, these things are have to be consented to. They're not made mandatory. You know, I don't know about any other countries, but here we still have that power to stand up and say, look, no, you know, and people need to exercise that and start asking real questions rather than being irresponsible. I spoke about this before in regards to like paediatrician with the kids being born and questioning them. You know, what is this vitamin K, and you know, what are these jags that you want to give, and blah 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 blah. And then you ask, well, what's in it? Well, I don't know, but I can go and get you the list. And you go, well, you don't know, but you're still spouting this story to me, and you're going to stick that on a newborn child. I think that's highly irresponsible. you'll not be putting that anywhere near my child, you know. And people still have that power. As I say, you know, I can only go by my experience here. In other countries, I know that it might be different. Huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what's happening in the UK, Dale, which has been happening for quite some time. I mean, I was living with a nurse a few years back, and she to keep her job, she had to have, I think it was a measles vaccine. All staff in her department were forced to have a measles vaccine, you know, and that's happening more and more in the medical services. You know, they're being given a choice. We're either going to stick a needle in you or you lose your job.
Yeah.
You know, you're not even in control of your own body.
Yeah.
Sickos running, and then you've got the politicians. Well, virtually every politician out there has got skeletons in a cupboard. They're some kind of pervert, and they can be controlled. You know, and the gravy train can be removed if they don't do as they're told. So you're never going to get a change in this world through the ballot box, because anybody with any credibility would just never get there in the first place. They would stop it.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be a revolution. You know, you need enough people pissed off that they're actually going to, you know, storm the White House or, you know, blockade London and say that, look, enough's enough. Yeah. Take over all the TV channels and tell the people in the world what's going on.
It'd be fucking great. You know, I'd love that.
You know, like they did in what's that film, that the guy where, you know, it says obey, consume, we live. Yeah, I mean, that's the scenario, you know, where people, you know, where the people are, you know, intercepting the main TV channels to get messages out.
Yep. And hopefully we start getting people who have got these capabilities and skills that are there that would help to push that forward, you know. But I think that's what we all know and we're all aiming for. You know, it has to be that way, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'm going to clear out here, and I'm going to read the messages that have come through on the phone, and then I'm probably going to call it a day. It's back at 10 now, so.
No bother, dude.
Well, nice one, Dad. Keep it up, and tell John to get a bit. You know, we want to see Melons Part 2 if you speak to him.
Cool, mate. I'll catch up with yourself as well, Lawrence. Maybe tomorrow if you're about, or Monday.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Thanks for having me on, Del, dude. I support your channel totally.
And Mike, stop drinking the water, please. Filter it.
Yeah, I'm going to check up that fucking reverse osmosis thing.
You can get them on eBay, mate.
I'll have a look at that. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, save your brain.
I'm trying.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Lawrence.
Thanks, dude. I'll look forward to the next one.
Excellent, Michael. Cheers for coming, bud.
Nice one, dude. Laters.
Be easy, man.
Bye-bye.
Right, I'm going to read out these messages now. I'll come to the chat and see what's been said. Evening, Dale. What does your other half think about all this? Mine thinks I'm off my head and it's going to cause to split. I've been looking into this for a few years and can't believe I've been had over for over 50 fucking years. Lies from corrupt governments and lying bastards. You know, she's supportive. No, that's all I can say. And I understand that there must be a strain there with relationships and stuff, but at the end of the day, you have to take a stance, and if it can't be worked out and you know people can't accept each other for the journey that they're on, then there's a problem in the relationship in the first place. You know, and that extends right out to what I was saying earlier. Just because people disagree, people have opinions, you know, things don't have to be, you know, cast aside and a wall put up between people. Unfortunately, that does happen. But you know, I'm maybe just lucky that I don't have that. I have support, and you know, I totally appreciate that, and I couldn't do this without that support. So, and it's hard, I know. I mean, fucking, you're saying 50 years. It's no easy, man. Have you seen the new movie Kong Skull Island? It's all about letting us know of inner Earth. When they first approach the island, there is a huge mist surrounding it, and as they go through it, the first thing you see is an inner sun. Sorry, mate, I forgot to put my name, Scouse Anarchist. Well, I mean, I sit and contemplate that a lot as well. There's obviously some inner workings. If I'm thinking about this place as machinery, then, you know, there will be inner workings, and there probably is some sort of inner avenues that we're just not aware of. I wouldn't rule any of that out. As far as them sticking it in your face in movies, then I mean, I'll check that out though. Cheers, Scouse Anarchist. Sent from a number ending 001, and the message size is 2 kilobytes. I'm having to download it, and I don't know where it goes when I download it on this phone, so it must be a huge message. And the same again from a message that ends 536 from that number. It's saying download, so it's either a picture you've sent me or it's a huge message. I can't get it right now. So, here are we.
I've got one more request, Del, that so we deferring that till the week, or
I'm starting to get kind of drained now, to be honest with you.
well, my apologies, Dodds. More than likely we'll be back midweek. If not, we'll definitely be back next Saturday. So yeah, the luck of the draw, man. I'm afraid.
Aye, sorry about that. As I say, once it gets onto this kind of kicking on 3 hours, it gets, energy gets drained, and I'm hungry, So apologies there, but we'll be back. There's plenty of time. Hopefully, you can come back and come in and have your say. That'd be fantastic. Everybody in chat, flat enough beyond the measure of curve. I hear how the atom is so like the solar system. Where is the atom? Are they showing you, or are they showing you cartoons all too often? This is a red flag for me. Maybe some virtual reality narrative is being pushed. Heads up. I've said that before. I've seen that a few years ago with the whole mathematicians, Tedgemark and guys like that, postulating multiverses and blah, 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 and, pushing towards it being some sort of virtual experience that we're having. Who knows? You just got to be wary and discerning with everything that comes your way. As I say, keep things to practicality. All claims, they can hypothesise and postulate all they fucking like until we have actual working practicality. Their claims are bunkum as far as I'm concerned and shouldn't be given any attention. If I'm telling you, we're part of some fucking unicorn's arsehole, I mean, without any practicality, it means absolutely nothing. So you just have to be discerning and bring it back to natural science, direct realism, make sure you have the practicality. All claims should be, observable and recreatable. You should be able to see it, and that doesn't mean on a computer screen or a fucking TV. Mind Fizz, cheers there when you're back on. I've got some activism stuff planned for through the week. I'm not sure if, there's Gar there. Beyond the Magic Curve, a seesaw without a fulcrum is just a plank. Exactly. So I don't know if we've got anything planned regards to any topics or any work that Gav or anybody else is bringing forward for through the week. But I'm sure we'll be back on. If failing that, we'll be back next Saturday. As I say, I've got a busy week ahead with some activism stuff and getting some interviews done as well. So just look out for that and hopefully see you here next time. So Marshall, Magumba, Jonah Worms, as always, appreciated. And everybody else in chat, and Lawrence and Michael, thanks for coming on. And Sarah, nice to chat to you on the phone. Appreciate everybody. Cheers, guys. See you soon.